welcome to the Call to Cinema for another overly hot day in Morocco. And I have, again, for my co-host, amazing friends here, May to December. And let's just bring him in.
Hey, it's me again.
Are you ready for this, like the start of the subscriber week?
Not really, no. I've always spent so much money. So, divorce is on the line here. Already told the wife, look, the divorce can happen. Just leave me with all the money and, I'll buy media. Yes, I'm prepared for it. I'm ready for it. I can't wait to see what comes out. I'm excited by the partner labels. I'm worried about the zombie set, the comic box, the price. But I get $10 off, so hopefully it's under 100 odd,
I'm worried it's going to sell out.
Yeah, it is, because it's only got 1,500 copies, they said.
Are you serious? That's
Yeah,
it?
so that's going to sell out probably within an hour.
Hey,
They'll probably
George,
they'll probably sell quicker than the Hay movie when it came out.
Oh, no, I can do it now then, right? You know, it's got to come up right now.
What's that? Hey!
There you go. Super chat, super sticker, donate, guys. Like, don't make me cry. I got a huge comic book collection. Zombie belongs there. It truly does. But let's share, subscribe, all that jazz. Let's get into this though. We have let's bring it up.
All right.
So we got the infamous waiting screen right now. Ooh. Here we go. It's opening up in about an hour, right? Hour and 58 minutes. So we got 2 hours to jazz about stuff. We're going to talk about ratings. So you got some movies coming. We're going to look at.
Yeah, those. I've got some movies that came today. I got one from Indicator and two from 88 Films. So I thought it might be interesting to show them a bit.
Let's start with that. I want to see what you got, man.
You want to start with that? Okay.
Let's start with what's in the box.
Well, the first thing I got was The Cold Eyes of Fear 4K.
Oh man.
I got this. I was lucky enough because on Amazon it went down to 20 quid for some reason. So
that's fantastic.
I picked it up. I haven't watched it yet, obviously, because it's still sealed. But yeah, it's a film I've wanted to pick up. I had the Blu-ray, but got rid of the Blu-ray and just got this version. I don't know if I like their smaller boxes. I preferred the bigger ones. That actually had the Amaray casing.
As long as it passes, like Stephanie would say, the knock test. As long as you can then you're good.
That's the bit where you go, who's there? A new 4K.
Yeah. Again, a good one too. I like Cold Eyes of Fear.
I haven't seen it, so I'm looking forward to getting to it. And I got The Bloody Judge from 88 Films that turned up today.
That is one that I remember watching with my dad. Back in the VHS days, no less. Do you know what they need to put out? I'm not sure I don't think they put it out, but remember Funny Man?
Yes, and that came out in Germany on Blu-ray.
We need either a UK or a North American release. I'd preferably a UK because they put out better releases in North America. Yeah. That's pretty much true across the board. But that's what I want to see. That's what I want to see come out. It's I want Funny Man. And I love that little song at the end of Funny Man too.
I'll be honest, I feel like Funny Man would be probably released from 88 Films.
Yeah, it does seem like
it seems because the slipcover and everything seems perfect for them, doesn't it? It comes with a book as well, so I was really excited. I ain't seen this in years, but I'm looking forward to watching it again. And the last one, a little bit too violent for the stream, really, but Untold Story.
Is that a cat 3 times?
Yeah, that's the Anthony Wong one, which is actually based on a true story about a guy who basically, killed people and took over their restaurant. Oh, thanks, George.
It's specific Cat 3 titles I utterly adore. Unless your name is Ebola Syndrome, then take a leap.
So you did. So that one really, really got you then.
I got epilepsy. So I grew up having grand mal seizures, as they were called at the time.
Oh.
So the idea of watching a movie where people are having a bunch of seizures all throughout it.
Yeah. Distasteful.
Super distasteful for me. And I get people love the movie, but for me, it's just not something that I could watch. Sadly, it's in my collection. because I was a subscriber to Vinegar Syndrome at the time that it came out for the worst possible months for me, because they said we're putting out the Reno Corona collection. I'm like, shit, I really don't want that, but I'm a subscriber, and it was like, we got a really big 4K title coming up. It's gonna be something huge. I'm like, fantastic. It's gonna be like a genre we've never done before. I'm like, this is great. It's gonna be a Ebola syndrome, mother. And then I thought, okay, well, maybe there'll be a documentary on Cat 3 titles. That'll release that, right? That's their first one. You know, I love documentaries. I can say, okay, there's my reason for owning it. There's a documentary on there. There's no damn documentary on it.
Typical.
Gosh, it was a botch for them.
I'll be honest, I like Cat 3 films. I wish they'd release Naked Killer.
Oh, I love that film.
Yeah, I wish they'd release that, or the whole movie series, which I won't repeat the title of the normal series, but, you know, I wish they would, because I grew up on those films, and I love those films. But I have a feeling that that's never going to happen, because, obviously, the title, you know, and...
Vinegar Syndrome?
I wish, I mean...
Did you not see that Abel Ferrer movie that they released, that adult one? 9 Lives.
Oh, yeah, I did. Yeah, I watched that recently, and I was like,
yeah,
it's not the best. No, it definitely isn't.
Like,
I do like the title though.
Makes me.
I remember telling my wife, and she said, "What's that?" I said, "It's about a cat."
I was like, when I won a while back, a couple years ago, when they first did the Valentine's Day sale, I won like a gift certificate. Yeah, and I was like, "This." Oh,
you won it.
Yeah, I did. I was like excited, and then I realized it was Valentine's Day sale, so it was good for only a certain type of film. Which one was bad because I couldn't buy everything.
Yeah,
from with it, but was good because now I had an excuse to look at Hind and say, "Honey, my hands are tied. I got to buy Pretty Peaches and Taboo. They're making me do it." And that's.
So what did you win? So did you win the top one then?
Yeah, that time I did.
Because it's, what is it? It's like 100, 20, 25, and 220s, right?
It was 100. It was 125. I think there was 100. There's a 50, and there was like I won the 100.
Oh, that's handy, isn't it?
So it was good, and I still put in money because you you always do.
That's how it happens.
You start picking up stuff.
Yeah, that's the best way of selling, isn't it? Really. You go in there. You're
waiting for the August 1st thing. Super stoked about that.
I can't wait for that.
You're going to be on for that, right?
Yeah, it's going to be a great evening. A lot of fun as well. You know, especially if there's some crazy titles. You know,
we'll be Patreon that one, guys. You won't be seeing this one on regular channel. But we got a bunch of stuff to talk with. What do you think? Have you pre-ordered the Arrow film stuff?
I did. I pre-ordered all of it. I believe all of it. Because there was The Ring, there was Carlito's Way. I already had Carlito's Way, but I'm going to just trade it, you know, and get that one. What else was it? The Psycho Collection, and what was the other one? There was one more, wasn't there?
There is. Actually, we're going to go to
yeah, that's it. That's it. Blood and Black Lace. Yeah.
So here we are.
I did all of them,
yeah. These are some sexy titles.
They are very sexy.
I
love that cover.
Carlito's Way. I'm actually a big fan of this movie. I think it's underrated.
I think it's underrated.
Great, like £30 for 4K. Not a bad price at all. I'm not going to lie. Love the way this is done with the poster and all that.
I wasn't keen on the sequel though. That wasn't really, made the prequel one.
There's no sequel to Carlito's Way.
There's a prequel to it, though, isn't there?
No. That doesn't exist. In Aaron's world, this doesn't exist.
Well, I was going to say, I did not like that film at all.
I have a friend that who loved the movie Pumpkinhead, right? And I actually do like the cheesy sequels of Pumpkinhead. But in his mind, he'll always say, I'll say, hey, remember Pumpkinhead 2? And he's like, no, that doesn't exist. There is no Pumpkinhead 2.
Yeah, that's one of those Mandela effects. They don't exist.
Yeah. No, I'm using that for the sequel to Carlito's.
I'm surprised they didn't put 3 in there just for you.
Oh yeah, I know, like the special bonus one. Actually, that's the only way I want to own it. I think I probably do own it on DVD.
Probably, yeah.
One of those crate digger sales.
Yeah, it happens, doesn't it? I do
And
like that one. That's the one I
Which one
pre-ordered.
did you go for, by the way? Because there's
I
two
went for
different
this one.
artwork.
I went for that one. This one.
This is sexy looking.
Yeah, I love that. I love that artwork.
That's
absolutely
new, right?
Beautiful. Yeah, I believe it is. Because they do their own one, don't they? They do their own style, and then they do the original one now as well.
Puff Daddy was in the sequel. Was he really?
I don't remember that, but he must have been.
I don't remember the movie very well. Like, obviously, I kind of like took it out of my brain. So that's probably why. Here we go, Psycho Collection. This is so sexy, man.
Yeah, I like it. I got to be honest. I'll probably change the covers over to the original ones because I really like the original covers. But I'm glad it's got the posters in it as well because I do like the artwork.
Yeah. The only thing that I think is missing is, and I said this when I initially looked at this, where's the Bud Court Bates Motel?
Yeah, true.
Because I know it's not a good TV movie,
but it should still be in there, shouldn't it?
Yeah, I liked it. I mean, like back in the day, like it's definitely not the Bates Motel, the big series that came out years later. But for those that don't know, they're back in like the late 80s, right? Like 89, I think.
Yeah, I think it was around then, like late 80s, early 90s. Yeah, around then, yeah.
So Bud Cort was a pretty big name already, like as an actor. He did Harold and Maude, like films like that. And so he was chosen to kind of be the successor to Anthony Perkins. They did a TV series called Bates Motel. They did a pilot film for it. And in it, Norman Bates dies in the asylum before the movie starts.
Yep.
And he has like bequeathed his hotel to a guy that he met in there that's played by Bud Cort. So the series was meant to become like Psycho meets The Love Boat, where different casts would come in on a weekly basis with different stories, and some would be supernatural, some would be romantic, some would be thrillers. And they started with a fairly good start. There's kind of a ghost story went in there with Christina Hayes from Head of the Class.
I remember that.
Like, massive crush on, if you remember, like the redheaded girl from Head of the Class.
Yeah, beautiful.
But unfortunately, it's not here, so I guess we should be talking about it too much.
Well, I'll be honest. I feel like the box set should have come with a wig and a dress.
Oh, that would be an amazing.
You know, and like a plastic knife, so people could just sit there, you know, in it. Like they get your size, and then you just sit there and could review, like with, you know, or a shower curtain.
I would totally look that. I would rock that dress, man. I would totally do that.
I think so.
So it's like because we have like two cuts of the of Psycho 4, which is pretty actually amazing when you think about it. So let's like run down the features here. Exactly what's included. So we got here 4K restorations for Psycho 2, 3, and 4 from the OCN.
Yeah.
We got original lossless mono 5.1 audio options, stereo, and 5.1 audio for 2, 3, and stereo for part 4 because it's TV.
Yeah.
We'll have optional English subtitles for the deaf and hard of hearing, which is something I think is very important.
Yeah, that is important.
Matt Griffin's artwork, which I really like, so that's kind of cool. We got some double-sided posters for each of the films.
Yep. 9
poster-size reproduction art.
I'll just say this quickly. I'm really loving that Emma now giving posters for each film.
I know.
Instead of just one.
Like I've seen it with like The Empire Screams, and they're starting to do it a lot more now, and I'm really, really liking that.
It makes the sets feel more a part of a set instead of just one thing in the set. Like, I hate when they put the 4K in a set and then the rest are Blu-ray. You know, and it kind of feels like that with the poster, but now there's posters with all of them. It feels better. It's
like a throwback to early Arrow, if you remember and I know you remember this. Like the days of the boxes with the giant.
I love those boxes. You really felt like you got a premium package when back.
You did. I'm like, and Arrow was one of those companies where and I feel like it's getting to that spot again.
Yeah. Especially this year, it's really gone up this year.
Wonderful. And it's just like there's so much, like it's almost too much to keep up with.
It is. I mean, I pre-ordered most of the stuff, and at the minute, I have probably about 9 pre-orders from different companies for the next 3 months. and I'm like, this has never happened. I
It's
do own the
crazy.
Blu-ray, so I'm video, but I'm looking forward to the complete collection for
Yeah,
4K.
understandable, man. Here's a good question. Are you fans of the Gus Van Sant remake?
The answer to that will obviously be no.
I'm I have a different relationship with this film, and in that I'm a as a film student,
Yeah.
I
Oh, it's shot well. Was a film
I
student.
am,
It's yeah.
but as like the casting,
It's terrible.
especially of the lead,
Yeah.
was super off. Like Anne Heche I thought she was fantastic for the Janet Leigh role. I
Yeah.
thought William H Macy did a great job. I like Vince Vaughn as an actor. I didn't like him in that.
I didn't like him dressed up in the outfit either. It just
It
felt
didn't
more
work.
like it could have been it felt more like a comedy kind of put into a semi decent film with some good, some good real filming, but it just didn't have anything other than that going for it because your film is almost only as good as your lead actor.
And the thing is, like, he tried too much to mimic
Yeah.
a lot of what Anthony Perkins did. But with Anthony Perkins, it was subtle, and it was
Yeah.
just there. So when Anthony Perkins is nibbling on stuff, which he does
Yeah.
in the original Psycho, you don't really notice it. It's just a part of his character. It's part of his
Yes.
who he is, his persona, is the blueprint of the guy. When Vince Vaughn does it, it's telegraphed. It's like
Yes.
you can see it's him doing it, like physically doing. There's
Yeah.
in acting. There's basically there's acting and there's reacting, and
Yeah.
you want to get to the point where reacting is what you're doing as opposed to
Yeah.
just pantomiming it out.
Well, I
And
think from oh, sorry, go on, carry on.
oh no, I was just going to say because that's what it seemed like Vaughn was doing at that point.
Yeah, what I was going to say was for me, I agree with what you're saying. The problem with Vince Vaughn in it is it feels like that he's trying to do the same movie without adding his own self to it, as you said. I remember when I first watched the original Psycho, it was horrifying and scary, not because of anything that happened there, because Anthony Perkins was so realistic in a role, and you felt that was his whole being. With Vince Vaughn, you feel like, oh, it's time to put on the outfit, and you never felt like his face ever really changed.
Yeah.
That's what surprised me so much. He became a big star for a while because I was like, other than being the goofball in like old school and all this, he doesn't really have any real acting ability in my view. I mean, I like him, but I don't think he's top tier by any means.
I think for a lot of it, I'll blame it on Gus Van Sant because I think Vince Vaughn is actually may have been a good enough actor to actually pull it off. But Van Sant went in to make this. What he said was shot for shot remake, but there's shots in it that's not in the original Psycho that just don't make sense.
Yeah,
just random shots. But it's a great film school experiment. It's not a good film. I guess that's the best way to put it.
Yeah, definitely.
But a good question.
Yeah, it was a good question.
But you see how loaded this is? So we got the original Psycho, 4K Ultra HD, audio commentary with Stephen Rebella, making of Psycho and the Master's Shadow. We got the Hitchcock Truffaut audio interview here with scenes from the movie, newsreel footage, the shower scene with and without music featurette, which is actually kind of cool. The shower sequence storyboards by Sal Bass. I love that actually. Psycho sound featurette, the Psycho archives, image gallery, Psycho, posters and Psycho ads, lobby cards, behind the scenes, publicity shots, theatrical trailer, re-release trailers. This is the first film.
Is that all on the original Blu-ray, 4K release and Blu-ray release?
I got the Blu-ray release, but I don't have the 4K. Let me see if I can see where my. Let me just see. Cause I got the set right.
Yeah.
Watch me try not to fall on my ass.
Oh.
Whoop. High school gymnast, folks. Okay. Let's see. So, Shell of Doubt is my favorite Hitchcock film. Let's get the Psycho. So, making of Psycho, Psycho Sound, and the Master's Shadow, Hitchcock Truffaut, news real footage, the shower scene, Saul Bass, because no one watched that one. Psycho Archives, that's the other things. Feature commentary with Stephen Rebello, lobby cards. Yep, same stuff.
That sucks. I guess that's why it didn't say new on the side. Sometimes they say new, don't they?
Oh yeah, because I'm gonna guess for parts 2 and 3. Just give me a second here.
Sure. I think my favourite Hitchcock after Psycho is probably Frenzy, and then probably I would say
Frenzy's fan. I'm gonna put you on there to take over for a second. I'll be right back. Okay.
All right. Sure. So I think my favourite Hitchcocks, if I'm going to go into it, is Psycho, Frenzy, because I've always loved Frenzy. I always felt like that was a real brutal film. You know, like with the darkness, the storytelling, the whole fame storyline of that. Then I would probably say I like The Birds, but I've never really liked the coloured version. I've always liked the black and white version, even though most people apparently only see the colour version. Then I would say after that, I like Vertigo and Rear Window. Hello.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
For me, Shadow of a Doubt was always my favorite.
Yeah.
Then it's next to that. God, I love Frenzy. I've always loved Frenzy.
Frenzy is brilliant.
It's the closest I ever seen. Like I read a lot of Hitchcock when I was young. A lot about Hitchcock, a lot of documentaries and stuff, and books. And Frenzy is the closest to what Hitchcock would want to do.
Yeah.
As in like as a filmmaker. So that was a brilliant one. My least favorite, I don't know, between Marnie and Family Plot, probably, but and still I like them. But Psycho's is up there, but it's not top. Like a lot of people have Psycho like kind of closer to the top than I do. Like Shadow of the Doubt's there. Saboteur, I think, was one that I really, really enjoyed.
That's a really good one. Well, I Confess is one I like as well. I Confess.
Yeah, that one doesn't get talked about very much, actually.
No. It's quite a smart movie as well because you know what's going on the whole time, and I think it adds to the layers of it. And Suspicion is good as well.
There's some fantastic stuff.
I like Suspicion, but I feel like it could have been, a little bit better. Because there's no real twist, is there, really?
I wonder if there was... Well, but at the end of the day, Psycho, like, Hitchcock is not, M. Night Shyamalan, so...
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Notorious. Notorious. That's fantastic, too, by the way.
I've never seen Notorious. I was going to get when I was in America.
Oh, it's brilliant.
Because I love Ingrid Bergman. But I ended up missing out. So I'm hoping they release it over on Criterion. I'm going to get all the stuff sorted.
Oh, it's a fantastic one. One of my favorite, Strangers on a Train.
Yeah. I love that film. I love that film. That film is incredible.
Like that's probably my top 5, if not top 3.
Yeah.
Hitchcock films. Because there's just something about that movie. And I think my dad was a huge fan of Strangers on a Train as well.
Yeah.
We get something new with Psycho 2. We start off with the new audio commentary from Michael Brook and Johnny Maines. Then we get an archival commentary with Tom Holland, the one that will be for those that got the Scream Factory 2 or the Arrow one.
So the actor was in Spider-Man. He did it. Did he?
Definitely. So for those that don't know, because that's a good thing to mention, there's a guy named Tom Holland who's a bit older, and he was a screenwriter and actor. So if you've seen Fright Night,
yeah,
for real, then Tom Holland did that. He also wrote Child's Play.
And also, in case you don't know, he went in a time machine, got young, and started doing Spider-Man.
Wouldn't that be amazing, though?
That would be, wouldn't it? That would be great.
We got Behind the Curtains, Masters of Horror on Psycho. I actually remember watching this. Tom Holland, Psycho 4 director Mick Garris, moderated by Robert V. Galuzzo. Well, he was a podcaster.
Yeah.
there was some, you know, let's go past that. Give Block his due. Interview with Chet Williams, author of Psycho Sanitarium, on the legacy of Norman Bates, creator author Robert Bloch. Do they have the Psycho documentary on here? I wonder if Psycho Legacy. Anthony Perkins interviews, Richard Franklin interviews. Rest in peace, Richard Franklin and Anthony Perkins. Two people that went way too early, by the way.
They did. I think both of them were masterclasses in their fields, you know.
100%. I'm a huge Richard Franklin fan.
Yeah.
I remember talking to Jamie, and he, you know, once he started making films, one of the things he wanted to do was meet Frank. He got to meet Franklin, and I was so jealous of that. That's because that's such a mind. It's like when you watch, like, Psycho 2 is great, but when you watch Road Games, like, what a masterclass of, like,
how to do the tension in that. The tension that's off the chart as well.
Incredible, right to the very last second. It gets you with that one last punch in the last second, which I love so much.
You're so clever.
Yeah.
I just love when the whole time it's like, no, it's this, and it turns out it isn't. You know.
And this one here, we get like what's really amazing about, like, this one here, I'll say right now.
Sure.
Is Meg Tilly is incredible. The chemistry she has with Anthony Perkins is fantastic. They did not get along.
That's normally the case, though, isn't it? The best chemistry is when they hate each other.
Yeah, and it was really apparently like just a misunderstanding, but it bred, right? George said, ask you if you liked the TV show for Psycho. Did you like the Bates Motel series, actual series?
I did. I thought Freddie Highmore was brilliant as the Norman Bates character, but I thought the show was a little bit more. I was actually surprised because the first season starts off really good, and you're like, okay, Norman, blah blah blah, you know, usual. And then the whole lot of stuff comes out of nowhere, like the mum being attacked and Norma and all this, and then it goes into this old child, you know, like trafficking storyline, and then you're like, whoa, you know, and then you've got the detective that actually, well, the police officer, sheriff, who actually looks like he could be Norman Bates himself, right? And then after that, it just goes into full mental with drugs and everything, and you know, with the brother and the dad and all this. I like it. I thought the show was good. I think it's the second from last season where I'm spoiling it, aren't I? I shouldn't spoil it, but I thought the last two seasons were a little bit, you know, because I just thought it was weird when stuff happened. I can't spoil it, but in case people haven't seen it, but if you know what I mean with Norma and that, and then
I think it went back to form in the last two seasons. Like, I'm in a different way where like they went off a bit. But here's the thing: here was my issue with the series because I love the series.
Yeah.
But at the end of the first season, a character is killed, and I was like, okay, fantastic, and I'll like everything points to Norman, and I'm like, they're not going to be that stupid to rush it and make him the killer at the end of the first season. Like, let's be smarter than that.
Yeah.
They weren't. He was the killer. No, that's not a big spoiler. He is the one that killed that the girl. And I'm like, that massively, like, because you're being brought into this world, you're getting this character that you actually want to root for. That's the thing. You want to make your root. That's the idea. Make your root for Norman, and then like kind of be horrified and sad, like the route that it goes down, because it's doing their own cycle. There's the very different stuff than you'd say. This is not the cycle from the movie. It's a very very different like beast, and I like that. I love that part of it. That's why when they rushed the fact that he was a killer, that took me out of it, and I actually stopped watching for like around 6 months before I went back and like started watching it again.
I will say, I felt like the show was quite slow doing season 2 and 3 a little bit. Like it felt like good build up. You know, the thing I thought was really good in it was I felt like in the last season you got to see like a more dark centered show because nearly all the shots in it are really dark and they're shots of it's like you're going through this kind of weird dark feeling inside as well as in the the characters in the show. But if you don't want to stick with the ending of what happened, as people will know what happened, the
Yeah.
sad finale, just put on The Good Doctor, right? And watch him play Norman Bates again, right? And just imagine Norman Bates playing a doctor, and getting away with murder and everything, because that's what that feels like when you watch it.
Fantastic.
Sometimes.
Actually, I like that idea.
And then the show gets better because you're like, oh look, it's Norman Bates playing games of people because he freaks out the same way and everything. Yeah. But I'll probably rate the show. If I'd rate it out of 5, I'd probably rate it 3.5 because I stuck with it the whole time. I enjoyed it. I felt like some things were a bit lackluster near the end, even though it was still fun. Maybe it was just that I thought the show was running out of steam a bit because, it's a show that you can't imagine going on forever.
Yeah,
and I think... Go on.
No, go ahead.
And I think I missed... I can never say her name right. Vera Farmiga?
Yeah.
I think I missed her character because her character was very disturbing, right? She starts off quite thingy and then she's just really weird. And now I know half of that's in his mind, so you can't always know if it's her or if it's his imagination of her. But she was as messed up as he was in her own way,
Oh, yeah, that's how it got that way.
Yeah, exactly. And but I do think they were a great cast together. They really went well together. I do think it was good. I'd like a proper another Bates TV show, but one where it was probably on like HBO or something where I felt that they'd have more freedom.
I would love to see something where they actually deal with Norma, and her growth, as opposed to what we see there.
Because there's so much more to her character than we even know,
That's the thing, because we don't. We learn little snippets, and I wanted to know more about her. I think one of the things that did hurt Bates Motel, and I don't think it hurt the show that much because it did fantastic in ratings and stuff, though, was Hannibal came on at the same time.
Yes, that's true.
And Hannibal was a much more successful. Didn't last as long, but critically.
Did you watch all of Hannibal?
Oh, I loved Hannibal, like right to the end. I loved it. I remember the first episode of Hannibal where they're in just the little touches, and he goes into the washroom, and it's got The Shining, like aesthetic and look to it, and I'm like, yeah, this is my jam.
I would say because I remember getting the first season of Hannibal on Blu-ray, and I put it in the player, and I was like, oh, this ain't gonna be good, is it? And I put it on, and I was just like, they've done something magical here. It's so dark and it's so smart, and it's not stupid. Do you know what I mean? And something like that could easily be made into like a stupid show. And Mads Mikkelsen just nails it perfectly in the role. And the way he can go from being all friendly and that to like just murder you in like seconds as well, is just phenomenal. I love him as an actor alone, but in that is great. I really like that show.
He found the voice. That's my favorite depiction of the character.
Yeah, I'd probably agree. I mean, bias wise, obviously Anthony Hopkins because I grew up with him. But as actor, I would say he's more believable as being, Mads Mikkelsen as being that way. And he seems smart as well. And it's all the way he moves. It's the calculation. It's the way he's so, perfect and the way he puts it on.
For the movies, for me, it was Cox. I love Brian Cox as Anthony, as Hannibal, because I thought he was more threatening.
Was that Manhunter?
Manhunter, yeah. So it's very different, like Beast, than Anthony Hopkins. Anthony Hopkins is great, but he's so over the top with the character that he almost is like your psycho favorite uncle.
Yeah, that's true. Did you ever watch Clarice?
I did. I mean, it was okay. I wish there would have been more of it. Maybe it would have got better, but I don't think to put it on after Hannibal.
Yeah.
It was way more straightforward procedural than than I would have wanted something like that to be.
I watched the first episode and I never went back to it, so I barely remember it.
Well, it went anyway. So it was really good. New features for Psycho 3. We got some actually more than Psycho 2. We got a new commentary again with Brooke and Maines. We get a visual essay with Alexandra Heller Nicholas. I love her visual essays. So that's going to be fantastic. Brand new interview with composer Carter Burwell as well. So we've already like upped it with the third one.
Yeah.
And same features on Psycho 4, but we're getting a TV aspect ratio, which I'm actually very excited about.
That's going to be good. That should be exciting and really good to watch, actually.
So I'm guessing about the 4K set, right? Because they had the 4K and the Blu-ray set there.
No, I've got 4K player and 4K TV, but I went, you know what? This time I'll just go to the Blu-ray.
Yeah, just get the Blu-ray.
No, I got the 4K. To be honest with you, I think the price of the set is really good. £55 isn't bad.
Oh God, no! Like, look at this, man. It's £55 for this. It's $50 to buy one 4K from the Severance set.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. I mean, definitely worth the money, especially when you take into consideration Vinegar Syndrome box set could be like 50 itself for just 3 movies, and that's on Blu-ray.
And these are some good classics.
I bought that version.
He likes the original Hannibal. I don't actually. I'm not going to lie. The movie Hannibal with Anthony Hopkins, I'm not a fan.
Yeah.
The one with Julianne Moore, right?
Yeah, the original. So it was Silence of the Lambs with Jodie Foster. Then it was Julianne Moore with Hannibal.
Yeah, I was not a fan. I mean, it was okay. And what's worse though is what's that one, Hannibal Rising?
Hannibal Rising was awful.
That was the worst, man.
Worst. I watched that and I hated every moment. What about Red Dragon? There's a scene in Red Dragon I love where Ralph Fiennes is the killer, all right?
Yeah.
And you know this. And he gets with, what's her name? Is it Naomi Watts, is it? Emily Watts?
Okay, I think
the actress. Anyway, and they're in there, and I love the awkward scene where she's about to go down on him. And he's like this, and she's going down on him. He's like, and he's like gobsmacked. I love that. That's the most important scene in the whole movie for me. But I like that movie.
They're going to say, they're going to say like we got a troll in there, had to get rid of him.
Oh. Oops. Go away.
But there was the sequence with the eating of the brain.
Oh yeah. Oh, with Ray Liotta where he's doing it while he's still alive. That is a good scene.
But no, I love I guess I'm a huge Michael Mann fan. I saw Manhunter, and it had a big impression on me. So it took a lot for me to go on and watch Red Dragon.
Yeah. So you like Miami Vice then?
Man, me and my better half had a conversation, and it was like a long conversation, and it was pretty much along the lines of this, Miami Vice was the greatest TV series ever made.
It is. It's got, especially if it's got the whole soundtrack.
Oh yeah, you look at the soundtrack. Like every episode is like a film. It's like a movie. It's masterful, and even like that horrible James Brown episode.
Joe.
It's got some great stuff.
It does. Hate's great as well, isn't it?
Yeah, I even the movie was okay for what it was. I don't think it captured the flavor.
Yeah.
So we got a sexy look for Blood and Black Lace here.
That's one I bought. I bought that version. I didn't want the original looking version. Even though I like it, I want this version because I just love the slip on it.
Oh, it is gorgeous. I love the look. I love that. Again, we get the poster. We get the art cards as well. Anything new feature-wise on this? I'm not seeing anything. Are you?
No, it doesn't look like it.
I've got an old The copy I got is a steelbook, so
Yeah.
it doesn't say the features on the back of a steelbook.
Oh no, I don't own it. I owned it in America, the Blu-ray, but I got rid of it. So I'm glad I did now, since I get the 4K. There needs to be more Jellos in 4K released from Arrow.
Oh, 100%.
I mean, you can't go wrong with this one. This is like one of the top of all time. One of the real trendsetters for it, really.
Cannot afford to sub the Vinegar. Gino says you can't afford the Vinegar Syndrome sub. I know how you feel, Gino. I'd hope to purchase some choice titles. New to this world of boutique labels. So be gentle.
Hey, Gino. Sorry I didn't turn up yesterday. I fell asleep, so sorry about that.
There's some great. There's writings with Kat Ellinger, and Blood and Black Lace is like a Stone Cold classic.
Definitely, it's one of those ones. It's one of those must Jellos in the collection.
Yeah, for sure.
I do like the original artwork, but I just couldn't pick that over the other one. I thought about having both, and I went, no, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want the. Did you pick up Ringu? Like I got the set, so I didn't really want to.
I've got the set, but I picked up the first one. I picked up the original artwork version because I want to be different to the other set. You know. Personally, I wish they'd just done the set again in 4K instead of just one movie.
That's what Arrow tends to do, though, isn't it? Like Children of the Corn, first one's in 4K, the other two are in Blu-ray.
Same with the Ju-On ones.
Yeah, Ju-On, yeah, you get the first one in 4K, then the rest are in Blu-ray.
Tends to be what they're
going with.
I guess that's because then they can do a set again with all of them in 4K, so you have to upgrade again. You know?
And it works.
It does. I mean, I already had Kalito's Way and Psycho, and I'm already rebuying again. They were both sealed. So, what am I doing?
There is so much. I mean, like, it seems like every time, and let's just see. Let's look at our clock here.
Is that now in 17 minutes?
It's getting there, man. It is getting there.
Is anybody getting the zombie box set?
Yeah, like who's picking up the Eban Film zombie set?
Because that's going to sell out. That's going to be the quickest seller. Always watch Shotgun video and show we have fun. Maybe back so no. Oh, I'm definitely going to watch it. I just haven't had the chance yet because the thing. But well, I'll comment on it for sure.
We did like a bunch of stuff on there with the.
I saw it was on Milk. I saw it was about Mill Creek things. I used to have all the Mill Creek, sets. The only problem I had with them was I didn't like the quality of the disc. I mean, that was all right until obviously Blu-ray and 4K versions come out.
Like we were saying last night, I think that like Mill Creek sets were for a lot of people were kind of like the introduction to like these
definitely
films.
I mean, when I was in America, I picked up a lot of those sets for $5 and came up before they shut Kmart down in the area where I lived. And half the titles I had no idea what they were. Not the more known ones, but the really, like the really black and white kind of low ones, like for instance, Bela Lugosi ones that nobody hears of because they was lower time, And I was happy having them, and I think they're great sets. I think they're great if you get them cheap. Do you know what I mean? Because they can be. I think they're great sets overall. Don't get me wrong. I just hated the quality once I got into like 4K and stuff.
Well, I think it was always like for the early stuff, especially because they didn't remaster because that's not the type of company they were. It was kind of like a roll the dice on the quality. But sometimes the thing was you could get something it could be lower quality, and then you could put on the next movie to be like widescreen, and insanely amazing copy. Like they had some, and I'm not sure how they got them. But some redemption titles like show up. There I'd be because the redemption opening would show up with the girl and like the sexy sequence, right? Like, that's redemption. I know the redemption girl, and then like Devil's Nightmare would start, and I'm like, this is fantastic. And some of the early stuff you got, if you were lucky enough to get it, like Bad Taste, was in the first Chilling Classic set.
Yes,
but it had to be taken out of the second. They re-released the set again. So I initially I grabbed a lot of the early stuff when it came to that, and I still work with full disclosure, I still work with Mill Creek. They send me like things on a regular basis for review, and sometimes I'll ask, well, what do you? So, well, one, I'll give my honest opinion, and two, I don't pick everything. So I'm not going to review things that I'm not going to have an interest in the first place.
I get that.
I think that's a waste of time. It's
well, you know, talk about Mill Creek, talk about those things. The box sets I got originally when I lived in England before I moved was the Kung Fu ones.
Really?
The martial art ones, yeah. Because I really wanted them, because most of the times I know what they were in the set, because obviously there'd have been different titles to over here, because sometimes they just have different names. And, you know, even though I say the quality isn't that great on a lot of them, they were very watchable before having better TVs and stuff, because I used to watch them on the computer and stuff, you know. And I think that's the key. I think if you had the old CTR TV, they look better, you know, because there's none of that. There's not upscaling that's pushing it to be more blurry. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, and like I think what it helps a lot, like if you got like a computer with a DVD drive, or if you got like a DVD player that you take when you're going to a cabin or something like that, or just going on a trip, which I actually do, then those are fantastic for that.
Definitely. Did you ever get the 25 Blu-ray packs that had the martial arts one, the Wu-Tang Clan one, and the Western one?
I think I got a Western one. Did you ever see, and this is the weirdest thing, it was like 25 Westerns, spaghetti Westerns. I'm not sure, it wasn't Mill Creek, some other company put out. It was on one Blu-ray.
Yes, I own both of them. I own the Wu-Tang Clan one, which was from the same company. And they were standard definition, and they were really blurry.
Yeah, 25 movies on one disc. It's gotta
be. But what I will say is they were all movies that were very hard to get, you know, as individual good ones. Do you know what I mean? So, you know, George Eastman was in them, and you know, so it was fun. I like it. And some of them would change language halfway through, and you know. But I'm happy with those sets. I like those sets. I think they're great. I think for me with Kmart, it was so great because they had them all at like $5. If I had a region free Blu per,
you would buy 100 and Vinegar send them 100%. That's your next thing, George. Region free Blu-ray player. It will change the way you collect.
You have to, but to be honest with you, a lot of them used to be region free, but they're kind of going region A more now, aren't they?
Yeah, I go to 220 Electronics. That's the place I normally get it, because they're a bit pricier, I find, than like when you could get them in stores, right?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's worth it for me because I buy things from different like countries, and if I want to buy like this, like say the Psycho set and it's only like a UK release, or I want to buy one of those, because some Arrow releases stuff and that's US only, Canadian only. They release things that are like in the UK only. And I want to have the option to like say, okay, if I want to get something from either place, I can get it.
Yeah.
And it changes everything.
Sorry.
Oh no, I was just gonna say it changes everything.
Yeah. What I was gonna say was, did you ever buy from All Bit DVD?
I haven't. How are they?
Well, when I was in America, I used to buy them off them quite a lot, and the shipping's fast. You get it in a couple of days. Well packed, so you get a box and bubble wrapped, and practically in mint condition the whole time. You know, so I mean, I had some things turn up a bit damaged, but I think that was more from the post than it was from them. Definitely great. I got a couple of my Mondos from there, like Howl of the Devil with that. And the guy who runs it, Mark, is a nice guy. I'd recommend them, but it depends on the price, obviously, the shipping, because I was in America, so I don't know if you were in Canada, for instance, how much it would cost.
We always get screwed over with shipping Canada. I got to say, one thing I will say good about Vinegar Syndrome, I'll say a lot of good things about Vinegar Syndrome, is, man, do they know how to ship their stuff right. Like shipping costs are great, which is polar opposite to Severin, who I don't think know. They gotta figure out shipping. They gotta figure it out. Because
yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think if you spend over $800 like I did the other day, you should get free shipping.
Well, there you go. So you just gotta spend over $800.
You know, I mean, I think Severin. See, the problem with Severin, right? If we're going to be honest, Seven is complete opposite of Vinegar Syndrome because they've got bad customer service. They're moody. They're horrible. They don't get back to you quickly. I can contact Vinegar Syndrome and they might contact me. They might respond to me within 10 minutes.
Oh yeah.
You know, if there's a problem. I also think the biggest mistake with Seven as well is, I think this is something I read Tony say, you know, from Tony of the Dead. Right? I believe he said this on Facebook or somewhere else. Can't remember where. But he said it would be better if they revealed the titles on the day. And I agree, you know, because I think by not doing that, there's not as much excitement for people to rush to the site, you know. For me, it was great, but you know, I mean, it still would be more interesting to a degree to be like, oh, but Seven's not that kind of business, you know. And they want it quick. They want you to want it at that time, I guess.
I don't mind the build up. I wish they would keep some titles because you go in knowing pretty much everything. I kind of get what they're doing. They're trying to forge their own identity and not be completely like Vinegar Syndrome. But sometimes doing things that are successful with another company is just the right way to go. Yeah. And let me give you an example. Hey, DC, I know you don't want to do what Marvel does, but putting superheroes in a movie with email cameos, probably not the best way to do it.
No, definitely not.
Yourself.
It's, you know, the thing with Seven as well for me is I think like their site isn't easy to navigate either compared to Vinegar Syndrome. You know, the new stuff, you had to look for it everywhere, you know.
When you are putting out these box sets,
yes,
you should be top of the game. There should be nobody that's better or bigger than you, because these are amazing sets. These are incredibly well produced, extremely well done, loaded to the gills with stuff. Incredible sets.
I mean,
how are you not top the mountain with this?
I mean, even the Milligan and Steckler set are brilliant in their own right. You know, I'm sure the Black Emmanuel one's going to be phenomenal,
and it will be. And that's the thing. And there'll still be people that won't buy from Severin, and I can't blame anybody for it other than Severin. I wish I could, and I love their stuff.
I mean, if Severin do release Clones of Bruce box set, you know, with that documentary that's in the thing at the minute, that should be a massive success, you know. If it's
hopefully,
done
like there's a documentary out there. So like usually when it comes to like the Clones Bruce Lee documentaries out there, they did like all the Haunts Be Hours documentary, and then like a box that came afterwards. So hopefully they'll get a box set from for the Clones of Bruce Lee as well.
Yeah, I'm hoping they do. I'm hoping they do, because if they do, then that should be a big seller. But I think the point of Seven is they just don't seem to want to work with people. They want to agitate them. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I know, it's like you get people like we're at like it's 2023.
Yeah.
And there's still like people to this day that are like, you know, I guess trolling's a lot of fun. Like that haven't gotten over it. Like haven't realized the internet has moved on. But and that seems like the way Severin, like we're look how edgy we are. You're not edgy, guys. No. It wasn't edgy like years ago. You're just thin skinned. Well, and I love Severin. Like I'm not saying this as someone that I buy like a lot of Severin stuff. So you obviously buy a lot of Severin stuff. So we're not saying oh, what we're taking digs at Severin. No, love their stuff. It's just their business practices got to be put on the same level as their artistic practices.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I feel like if they did that, if they did their customer service better, and they actually didn't lie, because they lie a lot. Like I said before, in another time, when the Black Manual set was announced, they said they'd be shipping in at the beginning of June for people that ordered them off their site, and that they'd be released, properly on July the 25th for everybody else, like on sites and stuff. As soon as people paid and they sold out the bundle and all this originally, they went, oh, this item will not be shipped until the actual release date. Right? Then what was the point of people buying it?
There's a Grindhouse releasing sale? Did you know
there is a Grindhouse releasing sale, but it's not that great. It's not that great. I was going to tell you yesterday, but I forgot about it because I found out when I went to sleep.
Like a deeply well-adjusted individual. Oh, then I have to mention this because I always mention this every time. If you don't have this, Steph, buy this.
Do you have
This
that
is
the
my
same day?
favorite Death Game. It's my favorite grandest release.
Is
Yeah,
it?
this one?
Did you, what about? Well, I do, but I bought it off eBay, but it didn't come the same day.
Didn't come. Let's open it up here.
Because originally it had 3 discs, and one was a CD.
Now, was that because this edition? I'm not sure if this one had 3 discs. Either I don't think it. No, because there's like the 2 Blu-ray edition, but the initial release had 3 discs.
Yeah, that's everywhere still because it's on their site and it's still on people on eBay. So I don't know why I missed out on that.
But if you buy you might have bought it from somebody that bought a retail version,
That's
and
possibly,
retail versions
yeah.
don't always have the 3rd disc.
Did you like the second movie on it?
I love the
Yep.
second movie. I didn't think I was going to. I was iffy into it. Like, it was so weird because it is basically the movie was kind of Death Game script got like shopped
Yeah.
around, and the one that did that movie obviously read at least a summary of the script for Death Game. Did you like
Definitely,
it?
yeah.
Because I'm
I
going.
loved it. I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you right now, right? I can't remember the names in it, but the one with the brown hair, when she got naked, I was like, my oh my, right? I even said to my wife, I think there's somebody just as hot as you now, right? In my eyes, you know. I liked it. I thought it was good. I liked the idea of it. I liked how it started off with being really innocent and really, you know, and I enjoyed the twists in the movie. I thought
The ending
it was
brutal.
yeah, it was very brutal.
Here we go. Once I know Steph is going to pick this up, I'm going to like tempt her even more.
Oh,
The tough ones. It's a sexy release, guys. Plizzy Ateshi. Fantastic stuff. We got a commentary by Mike Malai. And for those that don't know, he's the guy that did the Eurocrime documentary,
yeah.
which is an excellent documentary. I was hoping it would be on here, actually.
Yeah,
but
because you can get the DVD, can't you, of that?
Now, this one does have a CD.
Yeah. And it originally came with a bullet as well, right?
The initial one didn't. Mine didn't, because I bought this from Vinegar Cinemax.
I've got the 88. I've got the 88 films version. Is that the one where the guy's a table and they go, look, it's a big wooden dildo?
Is that? I think so.
Is it in that one? Because I think it is.
It's a great, like, this is a fantastic release.
That's probably better than the 88 films one, really.
Yeah, oh yeah, 100%. Like this, always grab the when you can, guys. This is the thing right now. Always grab the if you see a grindness releasing version of something, it's the edition.
I want the Impulse.
For me,
What's coming
it's
out?
always the edition. Yeah, I don't have Impulse yet. Actually, I do have. What are the other
Big
grinds?
Showdown. Is it Big Showdown or is it Big Gun Down? It's one of them.
Which one?
The Lee Van Cleef one with thingy, the Big Gun Down. I think it's called. It was released over there. That one. That's the one.
Yeah. Again, I absolutely adore this film.
Because I bought the Indicator version. You know, when I moved it, but I had that version in America.
Indicator version is super sexy. Like that. There's one place. Okay, that's one. Okay, then you're good. That time you can get the Indicator version.
Do you have the what's his name? He did Mafia Style and the Pope one.
I
Duke
don't
Mitchell.
yet. I know my dad has a couple Duke Mitchells, but and I like it, but I just haven't been able to get it yet.
Yeah, there's
Like,
some great lines in those movies. So, is that I Drink Your Blood?
I Drink Your Blood is it had like it's got Eat Your Skin on here, and Blue Sextet, which is an X-rated film.
Is that got a slipcover?
Oh yeah, it's got a slipcase.
Oh wow!
First film from Norway, by the way.
What one?
I Drink Your Blood is Lynn Lowry's first movie.
Oh yeah.
So she wasn't necessarily like in it, but the director saw her and they wrote a part for her, but they kept her mute to keep the cost down.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that. I've got the 88 Films version, which obviously is more lackluster because it's 88 Films earlier stuff. Oh, pieces. I got that with the puzzle.
I missed out on the puzzle.
I tell you this, right? I got it off of eBay recently, and the person said with the ultra rare puzzle, and it's sold. I kid you not, it's sold for $35.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I got $35.
Oh.
Hello.
Hello.
One thing about having a Mac sometimes is that
What happened?
I can't say the name, but it's the voice activated thing that comes up sometimes when I say the word serious.
Oh, okay.
You understand what I mean?
Yeah, I was like, oh, we've been invaded by a female alien.
A 7-figure with a slipcase. I don't think they have, man. I honestly don't think they have. I wish they have.
I don't think they care. I mean, they're just like, oh, well, whatever.
This is my first Garnish releasing.
I've got the indicator version of that.
So, I have another movie too. Where the heck is that? It's Peter Cushing.
Oh, you're talking about corruption.
Yeah.
I love the cover on that. I love the naked cover on that.
That's probably why I haven't shown it over. But yeah, they did. For those who don't know, when they did Corruption, and Synapse did this for a few releases too, by the way. You'd have a regular cover, well, a clothed cover, and you turn it around, and there would be like a nude cover.
No, that crocodile one they've got on their site right now, if people have looked.
Like for their Hammer films, Synapse did that for a bunch of their Hammer films. Shameless is infamous for doing that for their sexploitations and stuff like that. But Seamus is infamous for that stuff. Seamus is infamous for that stuff anyway.
I remember having Almost Human, where where the woman's hanging from the thing on the Shameless DVD, and he had the lenticular for moving, the things, right? And I literally got rid of the DVD, but kept the lenticular, right? So when my wife opened my package, she went, "What's this?" And I went, "Oh, it's just a lenticular." And she was like, "Mm-hmm,"
Yeah.
Going like that.
That's when judgment comes in, dude. Let's get those judgment eyes.
Exactly. Oh dear.
Usually just order from third parties or trying to avoid. I understand. I wish I could say I didn't understand and totally buy all the time from directly from the company, but I do understand. I sadly do understand.
Well, I think it's like Vinegar Syndrome. If you do the big sale, right, like halfway or Black Friday, it pays better to buy from Orbit because you get the stuff quicker. If you're not a subscriber.
Shameless Entertainment is real hard to show on you. Yes, showing my Shameless, like when I show my Shameless collection again, that's a Patreon video, man.
I could probably talk to you about all those titles when you're done because I've seen them.
Oh yeah,
so
you probably get your own Shameless collection there.
I used to, and then when I moved, I copied the discs because otherwise it'd been too thingy. And now I can't find the DVDs anywhere of the ones I'd like. Even in HMV and that, they're not there. And when they are, they want like £9 each. I'm like, these are £2-3 discs. The DVDs.
Hey, they're creepy.
AK.
It's like there's doing some shopping today. Well, I know somebody is going to be doing some shopping today. Not putting any fingers, but
yeah. Somebody almost bought another 18 titles from Severin yesterday.
Are you serious?
Yeah, almost. And then I've got to wait for Vinegar Syndrome to see what they've got, in case I want stuff from there. Especially the Sal thing.
Zombie. I am so sad I'm probably not going to be able to buy Zombie. But that's going to be such a release. So you said they put out more information on the set. So
they did.
Did they break down what's in it, or?
Yeah, they said it come with posters, a 4-part comic, a hard box, which is that one you see in the picture, and they said it comes with trading cards, basically everything we already know. But they basically were saying more about the actual stats. There'd be 1,500 available. They didn't say the price, which really annoyed me because I was like, Tell me the price so I know. You know, they said it. They said that it was the first one, and I'm like, if the price isn't good on this one, again, it's one of those make or break things. If the price is too much, other people might not buy the sets. You know.
I mean, like, I'm hoping that because this is a subscriber week thing, that they're going to be heavily pushing this subscription, which obviously is what you do. That they're going to pull out all the stops when it comes to the sale.
Yeah.
That we're going to see some amazing things because this is the time, like, that you want to go in and put your best foot forward. You want to show this, them why you become a subscriber. So you want to reveal some really nice titles today. I want to say not partner label titles, like that's great, that's wonderful too. But you want to reveal some of your A game titles today.
Yeah, because that's not your subscription. You get the discount, but it's not the reason to buy, is it really?
And I'm sure there'll be a breakdown, which we'll go through as well. And you're going to want to that sale. You want that sale to look good. To be something like people are like, that's impressive. I'm going to become a subscriber, and I'm going to buy like some of these earlier titles that I didn't get as a subscriber. That's hopefully what you go for. You want to hook in like a bunch of new people. I'm not quite sure when the site opens up. When the site opens up, will we still have the Peakorama stuff on there, or will we not have that until August?
That's a good question. I think some of it's going on sale. The DVDs, because they said they were fading them out. So I think they're putting them on sale, doing this sale to get rid of them.
I heard that they're putting them on sale on August the 1st for some, like when they open the new website. Like a massive then.
Well, maybe that's then. I just thought because they said they were going to clear them and release them on some of them on Blu-ray, they might have the new Blu-ray versions on the site, and it seemed like they'd sell them now, so they didn't have to have that, conflict. Because surely when they do, they're going to need to have some big releases on there to make people want to buy from it.
Oh, I'm sure they will, but let's just go down here. So yeah, on when the site opens up, they'll be doing like where's it at now? Hardcore soft titles will be phased out beginning in July of this year. All hardcore and softcore titles will no longer be able to purchase at vinegarsyndrome.com. So they're not going to be on the website.
Oh.
So they'll be doing the special launch on August the 1st, and titles that are going out will be massively discounted. Due to this, all Vinegar Syndrome brand sex titles will be heavily discounted once the new website is live. So when we open it up, like this will be your first time ever, guys, that you won't see any Peakorama or any of that stuff listed here.
That's kind of depressing, really. I mean, it's exciting for August the 1st, but it's depressing that it's not going to be on the site.
It's the end of an era. It's an evolution in their company, and we'll see how it goes. Hopefully, it goes well for both websites, for the new website that's coming up and for the website that they got right now. But it's definitely going to mean that there may be some changes on the site. I'm not sure. Will there be any cosmetic changes that we'll see as well? I wonder.
Might though. I mean, it makes sense, wouldn't it? Really. But saying that, Vinegar Syndrome site isn't exactly like I mean, it's very basic. The layout, I mean, of the things.
You have a favorite site? Like if you were to pick a boutique label, favorite site?
My favorite boutique label. Oh, trying to think for them all because there's so many, isn't there? Probably for the site, I'd probably say Arrow.
Yeah, I gotta agree. Arrow's got a great site.
Then after them, I'd probably say Easiness, Vinegar Syndrome. And I would say my most hated one is probably the Kino one.
Yeah, Kino, and trying to navigate Severin during a sale is insane.
Exactly.
Remember when we were trying to find during that Patreon video, trying to find the glow in the dark pin?
Yes.
And we literally had to write it in.
Yeah, and even then you didn't know what one it was. And you were right on it, but you couldn't see because it didn't show it. It showed an older version.
Yeah, it just showed an older version of it. And you're like, if you don't know it, like this should be like something that if it's a new merch item, you want to push it. You want to put that right out there.
Yeah,
you want to have people like just randomly find it.
It's so annoying because, like I said before, on Vinegar Syndrome, that would have been in the merch section at the top. So you'd know that was new.
Speaking of new stuff, new companies, what do you think of the Radiance film sale? How do you feel about it?
I think the sale's great. I mean, I subscribed to them a few months ago for the June to December because it cost £350, I think it was, to subscribe at the time. I was really angry actually, not with them, but I missed their big 3-year subscription. So I'm hoping they make another one, but it's a whole year because I like mine being a year, so I don't have to worry about it, I can save for it. But I will say, I think they're bringing out some really good stuff. A lot of stuff that most people won't be able to say. Sale wise, I think the sale is good if you don't have some of the stuff. But I don't know. It's only like £3.98, I think, on one, and I'm not sure on the other one. But it's you save more the more you buy, basically, didn't you? So like if you buy 4 for 2 for 25, then you save more money there because it's 50 quid instead of, let's say, 60.
It's it's different. It's unique. But it's not a huge savings.
No.
I love some of the titles. I wish, like, I told you before we got on camera, like I reached out to them and I'm like, I would love to review your titles. It looks like you have some great stuff there. And they said, well, we're smaller companies, so we're not quite sure about like international shipping. And then friends of mine from the United States are reviewing their titles. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah. Especially when they're giving negative reviews as well of the good films.
Yeah, and I mean, like, so I actually like your stuff. So you want to get somebody doing a really great review. Welcome to the Dollhouse. You missed out because that would have been me.
Great film.
That's a favorite of mine. So I would love to, hopefully, I'll reach out to them in the future, see what can happen because I would love to review some of their stuff.
Well, go.
I just do love the fact they have some stuff here, like there's 2 for 30, the way it's packaged. I love the look of. It's got a uniqueness to it that I like.
Yes, I like that. I'm surprised so many people want them to get rid of it, to be honest, because I think it makes them unique on the shelf.
Yeah, I know.
And everybody goes on, oh, they need to get slip covers or they need to do this. And in all honesty, slip covers are getting to the point where everybody's doing it, so it doesn't make them unique. And I think Radiant's doing what they've done has made them unique.
And that's what you want to get to right now. You got to, when so many boutique labels are around, and some are unfortunately going under. We've seen like Network go under recently.
Yeah, that was depressing. That
was sad. That you want to like see companies come out there and kind of forge their own identity.
Yeah,
and it's not easy. I mean, sometimes you got to end up going with another like distribution company, end up like losing a bit of your profit.
Yeah,
because you're trying to get your name out there. So you're partnered up with a bunch of other people, and just to hope that your company will catch fire and take off.
Yeah,
and it's so hard to do, like to get to that spot.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they give a booklet. If you get the limited one, obviously you get a booklet. You've got the reversible artwork. And they're releasing films that have not been released in the UK.
And they got the art cards if you buy the bundles.
Exactly, and the art cards. And luckily, being a subscriber, you get those art cards and the magazine for free. And the magazines are not that bad. They're pretty good. They're not like brilliant, but they're good. And I like that they're releasing box sets as well of like Italian comedies. We've got that Franco Nero one coming out next month. We've got new Messiah of Evil as well coming out in October. So there's quite a few.
They got, and I'm going to see if I can bring it up here.
Oh, there it is. Oh, it's got a slip. It's got a little slip on it to hold it in place.
Yeah, like it's like an absolute.
Yeah. Oh, that does look nice, doesn't it?
I'm sad.
Have they said a price? Have they said a price yet?
No.
Yeah.
Well, look at this, guys. Look at this here.
Oh. Seeing that makes you want to take 5 minutes in a closet.
It is. It is amazing.
It looks amazing. I've got to be honest, the fun, you just like, you have to wonder how many more they're going to do. I mean, obviously, they're going to be doing a few.
I would assume like Maniacs is definitely probably going to be one. The Beyond for sure, I'd say.
Mm.
And I think they're all going to be like this. So if you're not a book or comic collector, then what you're probably looking for is this. This is what DC calls an absolute, and it is. This is the Swamp Thing one, and it's got a nice hard box.
Yeah,
and books in here. Except for them, they'll have like the books and like the posters, stuff like that, slipped inside one of these here type slipcover things.
To be fair, as expensive as those absolutes are to buy, they're well worth it.
Oh yeah, I mean, like I'm hoping. One thing that I haven't been able to figure out yet, and I'm hoping that it's the thing, is it's going to be we're going to have like some art cards, not art cards. They're going to oversize artwork.
Yeah, I'll get what you mean. Yeah,
because I want it. That's what I want. I want like an oversized, like an omnibus or an absolute size.
That would be nice.
For the books.
That'd be nice because I got some of those like that zombie set. I got some. Is it Fukais? They're called.
Which one?
Fukais. They're basically dirty manga comics.
Oh, really?
I think they're called Fukas. I think that's how you say it. Fukka.
Well, you are talking to the wrong person and get a pronunciation right. If you know that right now.
well, either way, right? I bought one of them. I bought a couple of them the other day, and they look exactly the same as the zombie set. You know, in the style.
Are they oversized type or?
Yeah, they're oversized. They're like this big, but they've got nudie on them, so obviously I can't show it. But yeah.
But you know, that's what I'm hoping. That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, that would be good.
And guys,
I would like. Go.
No, I'm just pimping things out right now. Want to help the channel? Super chat, super sticker, donate. It helps out the channel, and it makes me not cry when sales happen.
Yep. Also, if you super chat, it means I get to come back more.
There you go. See, and this is and we've been having one hell of a time here.
We are. I told before we started, I said to Aaron, look, I'll be honest, my fees are high. Thingy, you know, if the people want me to keep coming on here because I'm desired by many, I'm going on to some shows later, you know, on TV. I'm a superstar, you know.
There you go.
And you know, my time is valuable. So send super chats. As you, I love the film Death Book.
That's a verse of art. Okay, yeah, it's one of the early ones you put out, right?
Yeah.
That one sold it right away. Films a subversive art.
That was good. I will say this though, I do think the Vinegar Syndrome book side of things is going really well. You know, the selling of the books more.
We got our first super chat here on my end.
Hey, see? There we go.
And you know what that means, right?
Yep.
Thank you, Dude Face Man. And here is your official Ghostface Cake Art Secret shout out. It's tiramisu. So gotta love that.
Nice one. Thank you for the super chat. Just another $800 and then I'm paid off. So what are we at now? 41 minutes. Ooh,
it's
getting there.
It is getting fun.
It's getting. Ooh.
We must be getting popular because we're starting to get the trolls to come in. What's the one troll?
Oh, nice.
It's that's when you know you've made it, right?
Exactly. When you get the trolls, that means that you're successful. It means they're jealous. It means they just can't get enough.
Gotta love it sometimes.
Yeah, I used to get it all the time. when I used to do videos. They're scared. People used to go to me, "Why do you look weird?" And I'd go, "Well, that's how I normally look."
Yeah.
You know.
What we get? Oh, there we go. Why are we putting it on screen?
What's that say?
Oh, don't. It's the troll.
Oh.
So we got what I wanted to put on here is this one right here. So there's a press of 3,000 of the film's subversive art book. So I think it's going to show up again on the site if anyone's interested, which is fantastic
Oh, that would be
to see
good.
that come out.
That would be awesome. It's a great book. I think art books are highly underrated by a lot of people because I think they have some of the best things that can not just teach you, but give you a better understanding of the subject matter.
Yeah, and anytime I can get myself a good, like oversized, like look at that Bridget Leahy book that came out. Just like anything I can get, I like reading more in cinema.
I'll be honest with you, the Bridget Leahy book, I've looked at it so many times, I know it from cover to cover. And I will tell you right now, if they put 10 new versions of that up, I'm going broke.
But just wait for it, like the Lena Romay book. There you go.
Oh, if they release that, I'd definitely.
That is a day one purchase for a lot of people, my friend.
Yes. Need to get a whole collection just next to each other and go, how am I feeling today? Am I thinking a bit of French? Nope. A bit of Spanish? Nope. I'm learning my languages today. I take that one and that one.
I'd cry. Cardona Vibe 2 is the first review.
Oh, no.
A Cinematech, like he knows I don't like Cardona. So.
It was supposed to be a box set today, wasn't it, originally? Before the mix-up with the 10 film set.
What the guy passed out. One of the guys working like was Cardona the third. Some passed away.
Yeah.
But initially it was going to be like 3 box sets. They're going to be like magnetically done together. Hey, there's Swift Man.
Like the Doris Wishman one. Hi, Swift.
Yeah, and the Doris Wishman is the one that actually ended up doing it. And I said at the time, I'm glad Doris Wishman did it because then you had like films that I actually think were deserved getting a nice as opposed to Cardona. And I'm not like totally like adverse to Cardona. I don't like any dude that's like that wants to go out and actually actively hurt animals for your movie.
No.
Like screw that, man.
Yeah, it's evil, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, like what? I know some did it early on in the career, just like Ruggero Deodato, right?
Yeah.
Make Cannibal Holocaust.
Yes, that's horrible.
Regretted it, or regretted, like is often talked about in interviews. Like he's regretted the scenes, like in the film because it was at a time where he felt like he was pushed to be edgier and other people were doing stuff like that, and he kind of went along with the crowd. But at the end of the day, he's glad that it's still there.
Yeah.
But he would never do it again. And I think that's good. That's the right response for something like that.
Yeah. Thank you, Swift.
Thank you. Yeah, we really appreciate that, man.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, my view of animal violence is this, whether it's in real life or on film. They're part of nature. They're part of what we're created, whether you believe or not. And in a way, by killing animals, you're killing the most pure thing on earth.
And for like that reason, it's that reason. Like I understand what you eat. Like people eat meat. Like there's like
that's different, though, isn't it? Really?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a bit different.
Like doing it for like kind of entertainment purposes. Yeah. I'm not down. That's the same thing as like you see someone like out in the street like kick an animal or something like that.
Yeah.
And then you realize, you're going to have to like punch somebody in the face.
Yeah. I mean, the food thing's difficult because technically all animals, including ourselves, because we are technically animals,
thank you, Swift.
Hey! Nice one. Thank you, Swift.
This is like a double Ghostface one right here. I'm guessing everybody's excited about this. We're getting excited about this one right here, right now. Putting it in there again. This was the most amazing. I did not know this cake was coming when it came. This is for my birthday.
Yeah.
And my my wife's like one of her sisters is a like that's what she does.
Oh,
And
she's
she
a proper cake
oh
maker.
she's an artist.
Oh,
When I say like let's see, I'm gonna put us on screen because I'm gonna bring something up. I'll show you guys in a second
sure.
here. But she is a legit proper artist when it comes to the making of these cakes. It blows my mind. And
I
she
mean,
actually
if
did for like one of her friends' birthdays.
yeah,
She actually brought in this like she took like watermelon
yeah.
and made a cake
Oh
out
wow.
of watermelon and fruit, and it was just it was insane. But I'm going to show you one of the cakes that she made recently.
Yeah, yeah,
I wanted to put up on the screen, so I just had to go on my Facebook. So I wanted to take
yeah.
that stuff off for a second.
All right.
But
Oh wow, look at
yo,
that. Look at the
Alchemy.
detail. Wow.
Like she like plans it out. She spends days on days doing stuff. Uh,
Proper artist.
yeah, like it's
You know.
blows my mind. Like just the stuff that they like
I
you can
mean,
see.
look
Look
at the detail.
that they do with that, and
Is that all cake?
yeah, like now some of it. What they'll do is they'll put in like the like that's cake, like that all that stuff
Yeah.
there will be cake. But like they'll do like for the other layers if they don't want like as a giant amount of cake. What they'll do is they'll put in
Yeah.
like a bit of the styrofoam for
Yeah.
the bottom base and stuff like that.
Yeah. That's
Okay, here we go.
amazing.
Both our perspectives. Is Friday the 13th a giallo or a slasher? That's actually a really good question. See, I get that question a lot about Sergio Martino's torso. That's
Yeah.
the one where this is where I get this question most of the time because obviously Friday the 13th is inspired by Giallo, specifically Bay of Blood, because they
Yes.
literally take murder sequences from Bay of Blood
Yeah.
into it in the first two films. But I would say it is not only is it a slasher, but more so than even like Halloween or Black Christmas, which is my favorite slasher, one of my favorite movies of all time. Friday the 13th is the blueprint for slashers and what they would become, and Scream would redo that blueprint and make slashers for another generation. So I would say
Yeah.
it's definitely a slasher. Giallo stuff I think is more along the lines of there'll be like Italian Giallo, Spanish Giallo, and every once in a while you get a Giallo that kind of crosses that boundaries. I think Curtains, the Canadian film,
Yeah.
is one of those films that crosses that Giallo slasher kind of just crosses over. But I think you do need kind of that, like, as brilliant as Friday the 13th is, and you give your opinion afterwards too, because I want your opinion on this.
Sure.
I don't think that it has that stylistic touch that's needed to consider it
Yeah.
a Giallo.
I think
What do you
I think you've nailed a lot of it. From what you've said, it's a very intellectual answer, and I would say I agree to an extent with you. I would say for being asked if Friday 13th was a Giallo, kind of like if you could put it in there, I would say in some extent you could.
could, yeah.
Because it's kind of, in some ways, I would say it's an American Giallo in a way coming to the audience, but because of the whole who's doing it, who's that. But at the same time, I think you can't put in the Giallo section because there's so much to it that isn't a Giallo. Like, for instance, you haven't got, if I remember correctly, you haven't got detectives. There's detectives in Giallos. There's more characters in the Giallos to kind of believe. And like you said, there is more of a kind of artistic and more, I'm trying to think the right word, believable kind of feel to some Giallos. So Friday the 13th is more of a slasher in that sense. But I think you can't say it's a full-on slasher without making that comparison because, like you said, Bay of Blood. Even though to me, Bay of Blood, even though that's a Jello, that is more on the slasher side of a Jello.
Very much so.
You
Like
know,
this, like I never consider Bay of Blood like a straightforward
yeah.
like Jallo. But yeah, there's certain sequences. No, what about Scream?
Scream, I would always put as a 90s slasher, because it's a bit. To me, I think you can't put Scream in the slash because it reinvented slashers to a degree, you know. And I think the whole, you know, you got to remember, I'm always going to be biased because to me, Giallos are always Italian or they're Spanish Joes, even though they're classified as something completely different to a degree when they're Spanish, you know, even though they're not. I can't see Scream as a thing. I see it as a full-on slasher, especially the way it's done. Even though there is style to the film, I just think it's a bit too, you know, it goes in there with like Lover's Lane and all these other ones. But it's just a better version of those movies. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, like Scream, and I'm gonna be blunt here. Scream doesn't have the nudity
Or the cojones
sleaze that Jallo has. There is a sleaziness to Jallo. Even the best Jallos like tend to have like some sort, even if there's no nudity, like some sort of like psychosexual like reasoning behind it. So Jallo breaks up guys usually into and I hopefully agree with this, into two different like archetypes. We have the Jallo from 1971 onwards, which tends to be the Argento inspired kind of over the top kills, the murder set pieces. And you have the earlier Jallos and some of the kind of the side Jallos, which I could call jet set Jallo.
Yeah.
And that deals a lot with inheritances and people that travel, that are rich, going from different countries. And you get more, you get a different like style, like
a more flamboyant.
Exactly. You'll see like the early, some of the Carol Baker and Bertolenzi stuff does tend to work in the jet set Jallo. Some stuff with Dagmar Lysander works along that line as well.
Yeah. Well, you know,
George, good luck. Hope you win the lotto, man.
Nice one.
Nightmare Weekend and Sugar Cookies. I love both of those films. Do you have them both?
I do. Nightmare Weekend, I bought originally because I just like the girl laying on the bed.
That's covered.
But it's just absolutely crazy, that movie. I love the bit where she's got the robot thing and controlling the car, you know, and stuff like that. Absolutely hilarious.
The puppet?
Yeah, the puppet. That's it. The puppet
is in this one, which blows my mind that he's in this movie. And there's a scene where with a chauffeur that's drunk, and all the time, to the point where he has a sandwich, which is 2 slices of bread with a flask in the middle. Remember that?
Yeah, I remember that. It's a mental film. It's definitely, if you haven't seen it before, it's definitely worth the pickup. So I hope you enjoy it.
So, has anybody seen the Swedish movie Mannequin in Red from 1958? I have not, actually.
I haven't either. Sadly.
Yeah, sounds interesting, though.
It does. This is the thing. One of the best shows is Strange Color of Your Body's Tears. Was that the one that came out after? Because a couple, there was Aimer, weren't there? The French one.
Yeah.
Right. Then there was Francesca, which was I don't know how I felt about that movie. It was all right, but it wasn't anything, in my view, special. And then there was a couple of others. Tulpa I really liked. I don't know if anyone's seen Tulpa, which was a more recent one. I think that came out in 2009. That was really good. Really sleazy to a degree as well.
Knife Plus Heart actually stands
Knife
out.
Plus Heart, I would classify that as a Jallo as well, to be honest.
Yeah, that was one of the better, more newer ones too.
Best character ever, Mouth. Love that character. Best character ever is the character called Mouth. I just love that character. When he gets asked how much you get paid for this, he goes, I do it for free. And the guy goes, you know, I just love that. And the deaths in that are so good. Like the one outside in the rain with the light. So it's such a beautiful film.
There's gonna be we're 25 minutes away.
Oh, it's got to be. They've got to release a 4K of that.
Oh, for sure. We know like what because they said like there's going to be. Let's just see what we got here. Let's go to the subscribe week FAQ for a second, so we can get a bit of an idea of what's coming up here for the first day. Okay. Oh, we do have. How much will the subscriptions cost? There are. This was to be determined before.
Oh, so
It's
they
not
updated it
anymore. So there's the cost there. So domestic USA subscription saying between $525 and $575.
That's not bad.
Canadian is $560. Not at all, actually. $565, and international is $610. These the last time I checked on this, these prices. Correct me if I'm wrong. Weren't here. It said to be determined. It was TBD that was written down for this.
Even when they put the policies up, originally it didn't have it in.
Yeah. So this is the first time I've seen them actually have the prices here. So we got a scoop on the prices early, which is good.
I mean, if you put the 10 film box set in that, you know,
yeah, that's September, or November. Right? November for that one.
Yeah, November. And if you say, let's say 5 4Ks, that's worth it itself.
It's a great. I'm not gonna lie. This is way better price than I thought it was going to be. So July 1st, this is today, guys. We're going to be looking at 4 regular Vinegar Syndromes, 1 VSA. So there's a VSA coming too. Normally they come in batches of 2. We're getting 1 today. 17 partner label releases, plus a batch of Blu-rays with slip covers discounted are going to be added. Do you know what I don't see?
What?
Compound discount.
Book? But they said the compound discount, right? The more you buy, the more you save. It was saying it on the end of them originally.
It looks like things have been updated. There may still be a compound discount. Like it may still be the way that's done. Maybe they decide to go an even better way with it.
Maybe. Well, it might probably be on the site, you know, like at the top. Because it might be like when they did 10 for 10.
5 times the points too when you're on discounted items, which is incredible. So I know people have used the points to buy stuff and to get get releases and slip covers and stuff like that. So they're
talking about the points. I got 84 emails from them today.
Did you really?
Yeah, telling me to review all the films that I bought, and I was like, "So you want me to review all 200 purchases over the last?" I was like, "It'd be great for the 50 points each, but tedious because I have to check it all, don't I?"
If I could order you can't review movies that you bought from. Can you review movies from previous?
I think they have to send you the email for you to review it to get the points. At the minute, and they review it and determine whether or not it should be.
But no, it's updated. So this was not the way that was written before, and I'm saying that in a very positive way. The 5 times points thing wasn't listed before.
Yeah, that wasn't there before.
Everything was listed as a compound discount, and now now we're just seeing discounted selections. Plus a batch of discounted Blu-rays with slipcovers will be added.
They might have thought it's a bad idea.
It's curious.
I'm going to quickly use the bathroom, if that's okay.
No washroom. Yes.
No. I'll be back. I'll be back, all right? You can see the view of outside. There you go.
There you go. The beautiful outside.
Beautiful.
But check. What do you guys think? We have prices now for the subscription cost, but not only do we have prices, but we also have an updated look at this sale. Compound discount is just not showing on there. We know that now there's going to be 5 times the Vinegar Syndrome points on sale items. That's actually a big deal, and I'll tell you why right now. Because I'm not sure if Arrow does it. I don't think Arrow does it now, but initially when Arrow did the Arrow points, you didn't get points, or you didn't get as many points when you bought sale items. You do get points now, but because I bought sale items, I ended up getting a bunch of points. But initially that was the thing. That was one of the things you had to worry about. But to not just give the regular points on a sale item, but give 5 times the points on a sale item. That's a pretty massive switch up. So what all you guys think on that? Don't be quiet there. Let us know. And we will be, by the way, I'm doing every day this sale. So from July 1st today, happy Canada Day, Canadian viewers, by the way, to July 7th, 7 days of sale, 7 days of the sale. But this updated stuff, welcome back, man.
Okay. The other thing I wanted to say, talk about the party labels quickly, was one of the clues they gave, or two of the clues they gave, was there was going to be a 3 packs Spanish box set, I think, and there was going to be a underrated 60s movie.
Was that the initial like clues, or was that since things changed around?
I think that was the initial clues when they said about it. I'm not sure if that, I think that was on Facebook.
Because things did switch around afterwards because like I know because I took screenshots.
Yeah.
I'm like, because I think the Spanish side is the one we got.
Okay.
Because this is showing they're saying like 4 regular VS vinegar synonyms.
Oh no!
Okay.
No! I meant on the partner labels.
Oh, on the partner labels. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then maybe. 17 partner label releases. That's a lot of partner label releases. I'm kind of wondering what umbrellas. I'm hoping there's an umbrella there. Well, it's the July the 1st, so it will be one hell of a massive miss if there's no CIP titles.
That's true.
You know, it's Canada Day. Like, bring your big guns from Canadian and National Pictures, guys.
I think there's going to be an umbrella. I think there'll be a Satan's Core, probably a Culture Shock, and definitely AGFA. Is it AGFA or AFGA? American Film Genre Archive, is it?
Oh, just AGFA.
AGFA, yeah. I've got all their releases, so hoping they've done another one. Dark Sky, maybe.
One thing I know there won't be Fun City editions.
That's true, yeah, because they're gone, aren't they?
Yeah, they're gone. Sadly, they're gone.
It's sad because I want their primetime set. You know, the second one.
Oh yeah, I know. Like apparently, MVD distribution is pretty good to get stuff from. So there's that.
Do they ship internationally?
I heard they did. I haven't bought from them myself, but I've heard that they did.
I'll have a look and see if they're reasonable with their prices. Because I tried buying some short video stuff from SRS because they give posters if you get them early enough.
Yeah.
And they wanted $60 for one Blu-ray.
I'm literally surprised that SRS is still around, actually.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised that they haven't been overrun. But I never put out speaking parts. So they put out another. What one was that? I know that because I watched that.
Well, Speaking Parts was Adam McGuire's first film.
Oh no, I meant the company that released it on the. On the label.
Canadian National Pictures, I think. Because they do like Canadian titles. They do all Canadian titles.
Okay, so yeah, it was them. What do you guys think of the television subscription? Ah, perfect. I've got the television subscription. Any interest in that? Assuming you can afford it. Okay. So
yes, guys, I can afford it.
So I'll tell you what happened. So basically, I was looking randomly on Reddit. And someone said my subscription from television turned up today. And I was like, huh? So maybe in May, I went television, blah, 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 put it in. And sort of, if you join them, you get a shirt, which has, television on it, movie club. And you could do, I think it was 10, 20, 30, or 50 Blu-rays, right? Which work out, you can get 50 for, I think it's $1,000. But the only thing I don't like about the television subscription, from what I've seen, is they send you an invoice after the first package for the price of the shipping. So you have to pay the shipping charges even after paying the main cost, which
Really?
I think's a bit weird. Now they said it would be about $14 to $20 depending on the price of the shipping. What you've got. But the first shipment's free, so I basically got them to put every title that they had at the time in there, but I didn't have. I haven't received it yet. They're supposed to give me the tracking this week coming. But I recommend it. I just would be wary of the shipping charges because when you pay the 1,000, you think that would be in it, but it isn't.
What Canadian films will be good for CPI going down the road for sure, and the sequel too. I would say Rowdy Man with Gordon Pinson, 100% on Untells that Clown Murders, which is
that would be good. I'd like that.
Yeah, like that has VHS is the last time I saw Clown Murders. God, there's a few other titles that I would like to see, but those are the ones that stand out immediately. Rowdy Man, because I'm from Newfoundland, and my grandma, when Gordon Pinson was filming Rowdy Man, he filmed it it was supposed to be all set in St. John's, but he filmed a lot of it in Corner Brook, which is my hometown, and he stayed at my grandmother's place at the time when he was filming it because they were friends. So yeah, Rowdy Man, 100%. Going down the road, just oh god, there's so much Canadian stuff went out there. I would love to see Cannibal Girls get another release too, a really nice CPI release.
That'd be
and
nice.
A lot of those Canadian kind of there's so much that I want. And I know CBC has a bunch of it that they're just holding on with a death grasp.
Yeah. Oh, I'll say this quickly as well to go on what you were saying, but with the television. They announced two things recently on Facebook. They announced that they've acquired 13 new martial arts movies that they're going to be releasing,
Nice.
from VHS that haven't been out on Blu-ray. And they also announced they've got, I think it's 300 movies in the works that they've got the rights to now. So it's not one of those things that's going to die anytime soon where you're not going to get all 50 or, So I think it's worth it.
So if you're in the US, you don't have to pay the shipping.
Yeah, okay. So. Well, I didn't know that. But I knew about the thing. So
unfortunately, we are not in the US. In other places, it used to be in the US.
Yeah, well, at least you get the shim for free if you're interested in it. So that makes it worth it more than. I mean, it works out $20 a disc. And if some of them are multi-packs, they're going to be releasing 4Ks as well. So it kind of makes it even more worth it.
Oh, wow. So we got here, so you pay discount amount instead of the regular retail price for each Blu-ray. You're guaranteed a slipcover on each release. Receive a TerraVision Video Club t-shirt. Get a login to the TV Club wholesale page where you can buy other TV products for cheap, such as merch, cassettes, vinyl records, and other goodies.
It's just basically the same price as Vinegar Syndromes. The stuff instead of $24.99, it's $19.99 instead.
Okay, so together, and you will not pay for the shipping domestically.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's important, I guess, right there. And subscription options: next 10 titles for $225, 20 for $427, 30 $630, 40 for $832. Next $50 for $1,000. I don't know if I'd be able to. I don't know if I'd go that deep into something get the next 50 titles. I don't know if I have enough. Did you go for the next?
I went next 50.
Went next 50. Went the whole 1,000.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you're going to be around for the next 50 guys. I'm not doing that. I'm not taking a chance.
I mean, I'll be honest. I looked through their catalogue, what they had on their site. And I was like, you know what? Killer Refrigerator, it's not the greatest, but I'll get it. The Cube, the Japanese, remake. I've been wanting to see that for ages. And they're releasing some good stuff. And I'm happy with it. You'll have to ask me in a year's time if I'm happy with the subscription. Because it's 16 months worth. And I thought by that time I can save for the next one then as well.
Somebody mentioned the Cube, which I absolutely adore. The original Cube is a fantastic one.
The original Cube's good. Cube Zero's terrible. Cube 2 feels like it's trying to be Cube 1. And it's good, but it's still, again, not as good. Cube 1, I think it should be classified as a pure classic. The Japanese Cube, that's a remake of it, is basically apparently almost scene for scene of the first one, almost, in story. But I've not seen it, so that's why I'm hoping the Blu-ray turns up soon so I can watch it.
Curious about Saragella.
That's supposed to be a lot like I think Friday the 13th. They said, but I believe it's like a low budget Italian version, so it might be more fun. I've not heard of it before, so when I get it, I can tell you if it's any good because it's in my package, I think.
Because like Friday 13th was kind of low budget already, so we're getting.
Yeah, well, you know what they're like with
it's like Camp Blood, except better.
Yeah.
Oh God, hope it's not like Camp Blood.
Did you ever watch them? All of them.
Like after the third one, I wanted to tap out. The third one's my favorite. Within the Woods, it's called. But I kept watching because it's one of those things that I kind of gotta support the stuff because it's just they're going out there and doing that.
Yeah, and it's not and it's unique in a way, even though it's not unique. Do you get what I mean?
Oh yeah, and like I watch a lot of like I still get like this slasher like urge. So I go out and kill a bunch, but no.
Oh dear, never found out your real.
Now it comes out, right? No, so I'll watch slasher, but I'll watch the same ones over and over again.
Yeah.
And eventually I'm like, I got to see something different. And I know I'm going to go in with like somebody's got a camera or their phone and the acting isn't going to be the greatest, but I'm rolling that dice and taking those chances all the time. Sometimes you get good stuff.
I'll be honest with you. I think if they weren't filmed with HD cameras, and it was more like the old style camera, but not the VHS shot and video quality, I actually think they'd probably look better. Because you got to think there's a lot of 80s movies out there, but if they were filmed there because I was that garbage with HD, like HD made, not like remastered,
Well, there was one that I watched it was Sorority House Massacre. It said it was like Sorority Girls or something like that. And I thought it was part of the Sorority House Massacre series, but instead it was like very much HD camera with CGI stuff, and had like this kind of drone, like robot type thing that was using lasers to get. It was weird.
Well, thanks to Saints Core, I've got into shot and video films more.
I love those.
And some of them, they've got such incredibly crazy moments in them. But you're like, who thought of this? And other ones of them, you're just like Wave Productions. I never heard of Wave Productions till Satan's Core. And did you never hear of them either?
No, like the documentary was the first thing I knew about them.
Did you watch the documentary?
I got the documentary. About the first Saturn Core, because that documentary is amazing. I love it.
It is amazing. And I'll tell you something. When you watch that documentary, as you have a newfound respect for those actresses in that, with what they've gone through. The fact that people pay them to do crazy things, like get strangled and stuff.
Yeah, I know.
It's like you think to yourself, okay, I get it. Like you said before, people have got their own kinks, their own fetishes. What do you call it? But the idea that you want to get other people to do it is just strange. And the whole drowning in quicksand.
Yeah, like that's a whole like it's almost its own subgenre when you think about
it. Yeah. But there are other films, the films they actually do, the actual films, are really entertaining, I think, for what they've got. I mean, I got the Female Mercenary Blu-ray that came out. I got it, luckily, recently. The Female Mercenary of the Virus, it has like 4 films on it. That's why Productions Blu-ray.
See, I would love to have all the Saturn's Core stuff. Right now, I've only got the documentary. Like that's it. But I desperately want to have all their stuff.
They're worth
because
it.
I love the shot on video stuff. I think there's a charm to that like style of film, and it could be a lot more fun than something that seems a little bit more. For me, especially right now, I get a bit jaded sometimes where things just seem a bit too polished. That I like
for me, that was what John Wick 4 was recently.
You found it a bit too polished?
Yeah, it was. It felt like it was too polished and too samey, and it felt like there was no, there was no risk taking. There was no let's make a difference. People might go, oh yeah, but the ending. I'm like, the ending can mean anything.
Oh, Nasty Habits box is $45 right now. Cheapest you've seen it. That's my dad has that box set, and I'm guessing you got the box set, don't you?
I used to. Has it gone down? Because it didn't go down before.
let's hit Severin real quickly. We're waiting because we got like for 5 minutes away,
If
right?
it is, I'll be adding that.
Oh, Amazon.
Oh, I can't get it from
Amazon.com or Amazon CA. There's so many Amazons, you never know, right?
Yeah, it could be Amazon France, Amazon Germany.
Amazon France has some decent stuff, man.
They do. I buy a lot of Blu-rays from Germany because they have great sales. Like they have like 6 Blu-rays for €20.
Oh, really? I got to
Yeah,
look.
so
Amazon.com. There we go.
oh, that's a shame. I would have
They
bought
have
it.
some good stuff there, though. I wish I could get when my better half's family are traveling in the US. That's when I like avail of that. That's where I got that Friday the Halloween like 4K set because it was like US exclusive.
Yeah.
But thanks for letting us know because if anybody there is in the US and they want the Nancy Habits box set, that's a great price for it.
It just feels like bragging now. You know, we've got it over here and you're over in the international countries. You can't get it.
Are we really down to less than 4 minutes?
Yeah, we've got 3 minutes and 20 seconds, I think. It's gone quick, hasn't it?
It has. I mean, like this has been a YouTube deleted the Trauma channel.
Oh no!
This, by the way, guys, this is why I'm saying this now, not just to pimp out my Patreon, but this is where we can go on and find cool stuff and talk about stuff that we can't talk about here.
Yeah.
Like once Vinegar Stranded opens up their second website, I got to do that on Patreon. I can't go on.
Yeah.
Because my channel will be gone.
Yeah.
Yes, I saw the picture. We just showed up in there a few minutes ago. The zombie comic looks amazing.
That's them. We're going to find out in probably less than 3 minutes how much it costs.
I'm excited.
I'm curious to know if my $10 off, you know, because they gave it to subscriber thing. I'm wondering if that's going to make much of a difference.
Well, if you get up there and it's only $10, you're like, hey, look, there you go.
Yeah, I'll be jumping on that quickly.
For $10, I'll be jumping out.
Here's a question for you quickly. What do you think of the Emmanuel extras that Seven were given?
I think they're pretty good overall from what I've seen. I would love to have seen like maybe a new big all-encompassing like documentary. I always want to see that. But that being said, Laura Gemser never been like super big on the Emmanuel films. Like she became she went it's behind the scenes afterwards.
Yeah.
She worked a lot in the costuming department and stuff.
It's amazing because she's a very beautiful woman.
Oh, she is, but like she's very much like there's the two Emmanuels you think of the most famous Emmanuels are Sylvia Crystal and Laura Gemser. And Sylvia Crystal very much leaned in to that's Emmanuel and the sexuality and that. And it seems like almost a part of Sylvia Crystal, like when she talks. Laura Gemser, it's like you can tell it's just a character.
Well, that's why that's why she did a whole lot with partner, wasn't it? In the films, she always had a partner in most of them.
Yeah, no, like her husband.
Yeah,
he was in almost every one of the films. Are you excited, Jose, about the sale?
It's going to be big
because they changed it. We're not seeing compound discount listed there anymore, man. If you went to the sale policies, we're seeing discounted items, and the price for the subscriptions is up.
1 minute left. Oh, I'm excited.
Tick tock, guys, tick tock.
I'm going to go straight for the comic thing and see how much it is. For the zombie comics.
You'll be buying that right away.
I probably will do if the price is right. If it's too expensive, I probably won't, because I'd rather put on more movies than, you know what I mean. If it's too expensive, no, if it was like, I think like $150, I'd be like, well, I could buy 5 movies for that.
There's no adult titles on the website anymore, Master Chaos. As of the 1st of July, the adult titles won't be coming up until the 1st of August when they do their new website. So any sexploitation titles are gone off the site now. The compound thing, we're not quite sure if that's still going on or if it's just regular discounted pricing. We'll know that in about 30 seconds.
If it is still there in the compound, so it'd be interesting to say the discount as it comes.
Oh, it's Pulse.
That,
Okay, so we don't. I'm not sure what the shipping costs. Normally, shipping costs for Canada, it's $10 flat, usually for like the lowest shipping cost. What is it there in the internationally?
I think it's 17. I
It's
believe.
It's live.
Oh, here we go. Oh,
Did I see Gorgo? Did I see freaking
yes,
Gorgo
you
here?
saw it.
My dad is
Wow.
gonna love this.
The Demon Rat Psycho Girls. Oh, I'm excited for
Delirium?
this.
Delirium is there. I absolutely freaking adore Delirium.
Well, that zombie set's only £59.
So where's this? How much is it?
£59.
I got to put this in Canadian dollars. So
And you can put it with a shirt as well. That's not bad. I'm getting that.
$100 Canadian, not bad at all, actually. How many? 4-issue hard case comic collection. Includes 50 pages of never before seen content, 1 bookmark per issue, Iban sleeve jacket, 2 trading cards per issue, 1 collector's brochure per issue, 1 movie poster style, and you can buy like a T-shirt with it, or T-shirt you buy separately, right?
I think so, but you can also buy it with it because that's what I just did. It cost me $80, I believe, with the shirt.
27. God, that's gorgeous.
That's amazing. No? Okay, now I can look at the other stuff and see what's there.
All right.
Where's the thing? Oh, there we go. I can put in dollars. There we go. So,
How many copies did they say are there?
In the shirt one I picked up, they said it was 15. Oh, wow. That's kind of annoying. It says there, but with new edition slipcover, the movies are $14.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the ones that want the sale. That's a bit frustrating since I bought most of them for 20.
So we got here. Let's look at we'll come back to your stuff. So we got a Last Drive with Joe Bob Briggs, Blood Harvest VHS. That's actually really cool.
That'd be nice, actually. But that's a nice release.
I love the kind of the 4th of July tie dye. I'm a tie dye person, so if you've ever seen any of my Hawaiian shirts that I have in there sometimes, so the Demon Rat is the latest VSA.
That's the VSA.
It's from 1992. Ruben Galando Jr. title here. So, by the way, I love Ruben Galando Jr. So he's the guy that did the one, the Friday the 13th type one.
Yeah.
He did Don't Panic, Cemetery of Terrors right there. But the one that I really like. So here we go. Here's my official dramatic reading. Ready for this, man?
Yep, I'm ready.
Irene's a teacher in the middle of a messy divorce with her husband, Roberto, who has cunningly stolen the pharmaceutical company she was set to inherit. She's also dealing with a rat problem. A rat so large and terrible it has mutilated her dog. Enlisting the help of her new love interest and biologist friend, Axel, they soon discover that Roberto has been recklessly dumping nuclear waste to get ahead and wreaking havoc on the nearby wildlife. Irina has to contend with a mutated rat in her home and her soon-be ex who would do anything to keep his secret. That sounds excellent. That sounds frigging excellent.
It sounds excellent, and it sounds very cheesy in a good way.
Yeah, I mean, I love Ruben Galando. All 3 of his films he put out before. Fantastic stuff. You don't like the sale titles, Jaden? Let's see what we got here. So we got Psycho Girls.
I think that looks good, that one.
And we'll go to the partner labels afterwards too, by the way. We got Delirium. I'm going to just enjoy the heck out of Delirium.
There's a Canadian films release one.
Is there really?
Yeah.
Should we get Tear at 10 Killer? I know a lot of people are not massive fans. I am a massive fan of this. It's not a great film, but it's just one I saw on VHS back in the day.
I don't think I've seen it.
Oh, you've done.
It's-
You've seen it.
Have I?
It's not a great film, but is it worth having for me? Oh hell yeah, I would love to have this.
I probably
Gorgo.
have.
Everybody should own Gorgo. Own Gorgo. I love me some Gorgo, man.
Oh, it's nice. It's in 4K.
Oh yeah. Oh, I love my kaiju stuff. British kaiju, man.
Nice. I'm just adding stuff to my cart.
And let's go right over. I'm going to go right to CIP. Dirty Money. Okay.
Just put these
Not sure on the cover. The cover's a lot. 50th anniversary special edition. My dad's there. Dad, what do you think of this? We got special limited edition spot glass slipcover, 2,000 units. After Ruckus visit from the wealthy Uncle Arthur, working class Montreal couple Roland and Berth are left feeling slighted by his meager gift of $500. Hungry for more, Berth hatches a plan to descend on Uncle Arthur's remote country home and steal his small fortune with the help of his delinquent brother and cousin. The robbery spirals out of control, allegiances shift, blood is spilled, and Roland's dim-witted lodger Ernst takes center stage in a harrowing battle for Arthur's stolen cash. Sounds fun.
That does sound fun.
We got A Gesture Tracking, the untold story of VHS collector. Actually, I saw this one. It's not bad. Fake It So Real. Dad says my voice is kind of low. Does my voice sound low?
Not to me, it doesn't.
Let me know, guys. Dad, you might have to turn up your sound. Fake It So Real. Is this like the what I think it is?
I think that's a wrestling documentary, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. A ragtag group of wrestlers in Northern Carolina over the course of a week long leading up to a show. The film explores what happens. Yeah, I'd watch that. We got a Yellow Veil Pictures. Falcon Lake. Have you seen this?
But how old is it? Because I believe I have, but I don't know if it's like a newer. I've got them all in this.
It's a new movie, 2022. Wow.
Then no, I haven't seen it. Let me get this in the thing, and I'll.
We got Full Time from Music Box Selects, and we'll go into the subscription thing afterwards. We're gonna look at that too.
Oh yeah, definitely. Once I get all these in my cart and done, I'll be back with you fully.
Oh, or buy your stuff. Let us know what you buy afterwards, though.
I will do.
We got Harbinger here. Another interesting cover on this one. When her oldest friend is plagued by horrific nightmares from beyond, Monique is forced to travel to New York City. On the first night of the visit, Monique learns that dreams are contagious, and so is the Harbinger, the mask-wearing demon who not only feeds on his victims' souls but warps reality to remove any trace of their existence. Sounds really good. Picked up Dirty Money Pied Piper. You're so arty. Good titles. Good titles to pick up, man. Haven't got to Pied Piper yet. Hard's Deceitful Above All Things, The Hole in the Fence. Midnight Spares is here from Umbrella. So that's what we got from Umbrella this time around.
Have you watched that one before?
83 probably, but I don't remember it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've seen it, but I do not remember it for the life of me right now. There's Pied Piper. This one everybody's going kind of crazy about right now. Everybody's loving. Love the cover.
That is a lovely cover. I think some of the covers on these slip covers are terrible.
Which ones don't you like? I'm not a big fan of the CIP slipcover, but I'm a really big fan
the Old Innocence one I don't really like.
Let's just see. Yeah, I don't
really like that one. Yeah, I don't really like that one. Okay, let me just put this in because I've got a
Now, do they have their usual like listing about the subscription here? Let's just say, because usually they'll have something about like you want to become a. Where's the subscriber thing?
It should be in the. I would have thought that would have been on the main page.
Where's SSW? What's subscriber? Oh, here we go. Subscriber week sale. Got our first subscriber title. Duh. Let's go right here. So they are discounted.
I bought most of them doing the halfway to Black Friday sale, so that sucks. Since they're $14 each.
Oh, those are totals they thought was that sucked. Okay, let's just check it out here. So sugar cookies, which I already got.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind having this one actually because I'm a fan of James Bryan.
That's not
not
bad.
good movies,
That's
but
not
like
bad.
fun movies. Oh yeah, a Girl School Screamers, Laughing Dead, Savage Harvest. Devil Rider's not bad for that price. Horror High Stanley is one I think definitely worth picking
Yeah.
up. Night Ripper from Culture Shock. You have this one, right?
Yeah, I've got that. It's not a bad film. It's not brilliant by any means, but it's fun.
The American Scream.
I'm shocked that Red Sun Rising is in that when they said hard boxes before, because that's a hard box.
And you can see here the little bit more of the list.
Let's have a look.
So it looks like the compound discount thing is not a part of it now.
No, but that would explain why they're so cheap.
Yeah. So $14 Blu-rays. Sunday's got box sets and the limited cases things. Monday we got more $14 Blu-rays. We got $12 Blu-rays for Tuesday,
Wow.
$14 Blu-rays and VSAs for Wednesday and Thursday, and $18 UHDs.
That's
so
not
we got
bad.
some really good prices there.
That is some good prices, definitely. I definitely think we're going to get a lot of good stuff this week.
Looks like Master Cass grabbed the zombie one like you did.
Nice. Did he get with the shirt?
Did you get the shirt, Master Cass? I'm crying, by the way. I'm crying.
Because it was 15 of the shirt one, I believe, in the size I got.
I wonder how well it's doing. Let's go back to it for a second. Let's go to the subscriber week thing as well. Let's see if these say, where do you go to buy your subscription if you want to buy a subscription?
It's on the main page. It's on the top left of the main page.
Oh, here we go.
Underneath.
That's because there's usually a good readout for this. We get all the clues now.
Yes.
Here comes the reading. Okay, this July we proudly present Gorgo, Terror 10 Killer, Delirium, Psycho Girls, and that's just 1/5 of the year's remaining lineup. Looking forward to August, we're proud to uncage son of a Renaud Cardona's film of avian. I'm not going to say that of avian mayhem beaks, aka Birds of Prey, fully uncut and at last on Blu-ray. As part of a stellar lineup, which will include Blu-ray debuts of a set of Brazilian sleaze gems, the world UHD debut of a Bad Taste German. You actually mentioned this one, German favorite.
Yeah.
September will lead the world with the Blu-ray debut of the star-studded proto-slasher Arnold. First of many titles to come over from a new deal with Paramount Plus.
Oh, wow.
That's big news.
That is big news.
A razor-wielding black-clad assailant is gorgeously slashing throats in Montreal in our world disc debut of the highly underrated and surprisingly grisly Quebecois Giallo. Quebecois, that's a word I will always be able to pronounce because I am Canadian.
Yeah.
Evil Judgment, which we've gloriously restored from its original negative. And how about early 80s Hong Kong horror? We've got you covered in that department as well. And to round out the month, we've arranged a double feature of two of the most head-scratching American regional horror films ever produced. October will present the world Blu-ray debut of a haunting never-on-disc slasher, which has been completely unavailable in any form since the 1980s, plus 3 UHD debuts, including a true masterpiece, which is hopefully not Rabid Granics, a notoriously brutal slasher, and an international gore fest which made exploitation history.
Wow.
Finally, we're gearing up on our best Black Friday to date, including Never on Disc slashers, our biggest box set ever, 10 movies, and Prophecy 1 to 3 on UHD.
Oh, no.
Yep.
I just bought that from Imprint.
Newly and exclusively restored by Vinegar Syndrome. And in addition to 2 secret surprise titles. As always, as a subscriber, you will not only get every Vinegar Syndrome branded release, including hardbox slipcovers, mystery and surprise titles at their 50% SRP, but your orders will ship before everybody else's. All subscribers will receive a 50% off SRP discount on all of their sublabel releases, VSA, VSU, VSL, VSP, includes a VHS release, of course. And remember, that's titles that are coming out afterwards. So they're not going to be titles before. Forgotten Jelly Box, I think they are. I love Forgotten Jelly box sets. I have specific ones that are favorites of mine.
Yeah.
And I think out of the first like 3 or 4, I think maybe it's 3. I think number 3 is one of my favorites.
Is that the one? That's the one that has Crazy Desires and a Murder in it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think for me, it would be the first one because I've always loved the Spanish one, Trauma.
That's a fantastic film.
I love that film. And I would say probably the second one because it has, the girl in room 2A, because I just love the silly music that plays when they're racing to the place. It's like, it's from a comedy.
There's some great stuff, like the girl from room 2A. I think that's one of the first, like the only like American done American like directed like Jella in the collection. Oh wait, they actually mentioned the other stuff here. As you may know, we're spinning off our hardcore sexploitation catalog into its very own site. That means way more movies and lines to enjoy. In addition to Peakorama, which will continue to provide hardcore double features, look forward to the introduction of our new flagship branding, Hardcore UHD's Melusine, plus Quality X for the most esteemed and hardcore single titles. I knew this was going to happen. Distripix are for all things sexploitation. Note that hardcore titles in the Distripix catalog will be released under the Melusine, Quality X, and Peakorama brandings. So I call this, man, completely new brandings.
Wow. Is there anything about a subscription or anything?
Let's see. Starting in August, there will be at least 2 new hardcore and or sexploitation releases each month, and will be available to subscribers for 50% off the SRP. So nothing subscription-wise yet for when it comes to that. For anything from Ag for the Deaf Crocodile to Canadian International and everything in between, are currently 24 such partners, 50% off on those. A lot of stuff, a lot of news, a lot of stuff to break down. So remember, guys, it's free standard shipping in the US. So if you want deluxe shipping, it's going to be $50 to add on to your subscription price. If you live in Canada, you're going to add $50 onto that subscription price for shipping overall. It won't be $50 a month. It's going to be like $50 on one lump fee. And international, it is $85. And to break it down as it's done right here, July 4 releases Gorgo, 10 Killer, Delirium, and Psycho Girls. If you're getting the subscription, get it before you buy anything, because then you can use the code afterwards to automatically get your stuff at half off.
Well, I just noticed there's so many novelizations in the merch section for like Wishmaster,
Really?
Scared to Death, yeah.
In which section?
Bulk, Creature, in the book section of the merch.
Oh, wow.
Look at them all. I don't know. Hellraiser.
Encyclopodic Publications, Hellraiser Bloodline. No, Bloodline. Hellraiser Bloodline.
Oh, dear, that was the worst one. The Wishmaster one seems interesting.
Scared to Death is here. Wishmaster School. I'm a massive fan of that.
Yeah, I loved the first 2, not so much the last 2.
Oh, well, Andrew Divoff's missing, so.
Yeah. He makes that, to be honest. I think that's the problem with the other 2.
I'm sad that the New York Ninja comics are still sold out.
Yeah, I probably would pick one up if I had them.
They've sold 500 of the 1,500 already.
Wow, it's already sold.
That is Renato Pelosi Stellarium. It is. So I apologize if I didn't like make that noticeable. There's a lot of Stellariums. No, it's not the bad one. You're thinking of if you're thinking on Umberto Bad, it's not that one.
So this is what it says on the comic set. It says interlocked in hard case boxes, 4 individual comic issues inserted in exclusive Ebon sleeve jackets, 1 bookmark per issue, 2 trading cards per issue, 1 collector's brochure per issue, and 1 movie poster style print per issue.
So it's going to be interesting. I'm wondering if it's going to be regular size. Is it going to be oversized? What do you think of the titles coming for the next half of the year overall?
I think it's good. Let me get it up on my thing because I can't see it on the screen. So let me get mine.
So there's Gorgo, Ten Killer, Delirium, and Sucker Girls this month, right?
Yeah.
So in August, there's a German Shocker UHD. There's a Brazilian Exploitation double feature, and there's a movie that were called Beaks that you can use as a coaster. So great coaster, guys.
So if it says there's a 4-film Blu-ray box including Beaks, could it be that that's from the same director as the other 3 that are going to be in it?
I think they'd say if it was Renault Corona box set.
Yeah.
So
Evil Judgment, is that any good?
They're saying actually, Sinner Katie said it's a pretty good hidden gem.
Okay. The German Shocker, could that be necromantic?
Oh, I never thought about that actually. Maybe. That came in but now that one it hasn't got a 4K release, but it did get a release from Called Epics, and it got a release from Arrow. I'd rather not be necromantic because we've seen so many versions of that come out.
Yeah, and to be honest, it could feel like a waste, wouldn't it? Really, I mean, it's only like 70-odd minutes long.
Yeah, I'm curious with this new Paramount deal, what can come up.
Yeah, I mean, it could be old. It'd have to be old stuff, surely.
Hopefully, we don't want to get their new stuff.
No, that's what I was going to say. But that would also explain the whole Peakorama change as well, because that's probably the first big company they're working with.
One, great point. 2, 1,000%.
Yeah.
I would say 1,000%. This explains a lot of things. Yeah. They want to work with bigger companies. They want to do they want to put out some regular style releases. Then you switch things over.
Well, I'm guessing this is a sign that they'll end up doing more with things, a bit like Kino's doing.
So I looked up Arnold, and we're looking at Arnold. Are we looking at the Roddy McDowell film?
Is it got a weird guy that's dead but not dead?
Yeah, marries his lover Karen in spite of his widow and leaves death traps accompanied by.
Yeah, that's it. That's the one, I believe.
Stella Stevens, that I would like. If it was Cardona 2, they would have just said Cardona 2.
So early 80s horror. That could be anything.
Is that the Christopher Walken's prophecy set? Yeah. That'll be there's 3. There's actually I think there's 4 of those, but 3 main ones.
There's 5. There's 3 main ones, and there's 2 other ones. The reason I know that because Born from Imprint about a week ago.
You weren't sold on the subscription. It's very slashery, and I feel like the first half of the year was better. I'm a slashery person, so that's
having the subscription. I can say I think the first half had a variety of different kind of horror and different styles, like the Made in Hong Kong set and that. And I think, I can see why you'd think it's more slashery. My view, though, is that it's basically what Vinegar Syndrome's all about, really, that and exploitation. So, for the most part, like Prophecy 1 to 3 seems a bit weird to me.
I'll be honest, this seems more Vinegar Syndrome as an old school Vinegar Syndrome than the first half of the year did.
Yeah.
Because it seemed like the MGM titles are coming up. There's the 4Ks of like some very popular kind of more mainstream films. They're kind of evolving. They're going in a different direction. They're doing different things.
Yeah.
They're splitting off. They're they're all into another website.
Yeah.
But this here, I don't think at all. Like at this point with the Cardona thing, like if they're gonna put out, hey, Cardona's Beaks is in there, they would not keep it secret. That would 100% be what they wouldn't say Beaks. They'd say there'd be a big director box set. They'd say there'd be a Cardona box set. If they're gonna say if it was Cardona specific, they wouldn't mention Beaks.
Also, I think if it was a Cardona set, it would be 3 films like the other set was.
Yeah.
You know,
but no, this is going to be.
Wouldn't it?
It's going to be a set, and it's probably going to be loosely kind of random, but kind of put together. But but yeah, like, do I want to see Beaks? No, I don't. No, I don't want to see much of Cardona stuff. So I know there's fans though, people that like it, so that's fantastic. But yeah, no, this is less mainstreamy than a lot of the stuff that in the first.
Yeah, you're probably right about that. I mean, I barely remember all the stuff that came out in the first part.
Like when you look at stuff like Amityville Horror and Death Wish 2 and like Texas Chainsaw Massacre and all those type of titles, like you don't see anything really like that. Like,
that's true.
And I guess Prophecy is the closest to mainstream.
Well, not really. I mean, not really, because most people don't even know it exists.
But I think like out of all of them, like it's Christopher Walken. More people might actually know, like it's a film.
I know, but what
many people know that Evil Judgment or Beaks are around.
I mean, I get the Prophecy's known, but what I mean is it's not something that gets talked about a lot.
Oh yeah, it's not like a Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 or anything.
No,
but it's about as close as we're getting right now. Like from what I can see, to that type of that. Type of stuff.
At least I'll have 4 and 5 on Blu-ray when that comes out. So even though I remember trying to watch 4 and 5 and years ago because I bought I believe it was the Echo Bridge version.
Oh my god!
I think and I think they had a 4 one and a 5 one. I think they were both on just 2 discs. It's just terrible. You know,
Beaks unfortunately has a lot of animal cruelty. That's why I don't buy Cardona, man. Only Cardona in my collection was something I was already got before. I don't think Partner Labels are too bad actually. Releases like for this time around. The Dirty Money is actually an interesting title.
I think there's a nice mixture. I mean, if I see them and the ones that I'm not seen and they look interesting, I'll pick them up. You know.
Like I'm not overly joyed on the SSW first day, but it's the first day, so I'll wait and see.
I can tell you for 8 of those movies I bought during the halfway.
Did you really?
Yeah, so I got them for like what $19.99. So it kind of feels a bit annoying, but that's the way it goes, isn't it?
So, Dad, there's a Vinegar Syndrome like archive release. Dad collects some of the archive stuff. Red Sun Rising is here.
That's a fun film.
Don Dragon Wilson, he's either good or horrible. Like there's never any in between for Don Dragon Wilson.
His more recent stuff is horrible in my view. I mean, he's not a bad guy at all, but the stuff is just, it's not unwatchable. It's just the modern. Like I said before, I think the modern HD ruins a lot of movies.
I'd say if I had the money, like to do, if I was picking at anything right here, I'd probably grab Jungle Trap. I'd grab the Horror High Stanley one, and I'd grab. Oh, Sugar Cookies, you should have that. Sugar Cookies is actually really good, and I grab the VSA because I collect a lot of the VSA stuff.
Yeah.
But Sugar Cookies, for those that don't know, and my it is Lynn Lowry and Mary Warnoff. So in the film, Lynn Lowry plays 2 characters.
Yes.
And we won't go too much in that because that gives away a little bit of the opening of the film. But it's you want to see like sexy Lynn Lowry and sexy Mary Warnoff. This is the film. I like the cover overall. It's a decent like slip. You only have butter cookies. Well, butter cookies are pretty tasty, man. But sugar cookies is a fun title. I actually really like this one.
Yeah, I think if you want to take a gamble, you should definitely buy this, because I think it's one of those films that you won't regret, as maybe some of the others you will.
Oh yeah, Girl School Screamers. Like, if you have like extra money and you really want to film, or The Laughing Dead, like those are two.
It's a trauma title as well.
What do you think of Savage Harvest? You should have. You got a lot of Savage Core stuff.
Yeah, it was all right. It was decent. I tuned out a little bit because sometimes that happens, and it was a decent ride. I would say I preferred Night Ripper over that one.
I'll check something here. Somebody said that Culture Shock. Do you think is it Culture Shock? One of the labels might be going. I see Culture Shock still there. Under the releasing. I would hate to see them go because they just put it Virgin High and Hot Under the Collar, which looks like a lot of fun.
Oh wow! Going out of print.
But yeah, sale wise, it's okay. Merch wise, we got the T-shirts. We got let's see where it's at right now. No, still over 1,000. Not too bad. So maybe it won't sell so quickly. That's good. Good for me.
Well, it's only been going for what, 32 minutes.
So to see more of the July lineup and sneak peeks for the second half. Was going to sign up for subscriber today, but now I don't know. There you go. That has been pretty much wave. That's been the consensus right now.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy because I look at it and I'm quite excited for it. It's not. Don't get me wrong. I don't look at it and go, "Oh, this is must feed," but that's because I don't know what the titles are. But I'm excited to find out what most of them are.
Beaks being part of like the 4-pack box set. I'm not gonna lie, that sours me a bit because I was really hoping that they'd stick like once the Renault Cardona Jr. like set, like once all that ended, that like maybe they'd read the room and say, okay, maybe we should stick away from this. But I don't think they have. There was controversy when the set came out because of the animal cruelty and stuff like that. There's a lot of controversy, and if you went to any of the Facebook pages, you've got to see a lot of it. It's a bit of backlash. Yeah. But and I was one of those people. Hot Spices, the author's cut. Vamp the novelization, Manborg the novelization.
That Vamp sold out.
Has it really?
Yeah.
Bloodline, actually, is not a great film, but I bet you this is a good novelization because
the film was awful.
I blame Joe Chappelle, but I blame Joe Chappelle for everything because he made Halloween 6 and he treated Donald Pleasance and the lead actress like crap. So I'm not good. I'm not good with Joe Chappelle.
Is that why because Donald Pleasance died, didn't he, before the next one after that one? Because the next one was H2O, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was the next one after 6. Yeah, it was the 2021 with
because he passed by that. He passed away before then, didn't he, Donald Pleasance?
Yeah, before it got finished.
Yeah,
because he came back to reshoots and stuff like that, and they had to kind of use because when the H2O comes up, they got to do like a voiceover. They did a voiceover in Halloween 6 with Paul Rudd instead of in one of the cuts. So that really pissed me off too.
Yeah, it's kind of sad.
But $150 for 2 4Ks and 3 Blu-rays sounds more reasonable than the Severin pricing. That's true. That's the thing. When you look at this here, like, so let's actually go over this right now. So Severin's, it is now. I'm going to go to American dollars. because that's where most people are buying from. So you're looking at 4Ks here, like that are on sale. First run coming out, pre-order price of $29.99. That's really good.
Well,
What's
with the
the price
slipcover,
of the sale?
With the slipcover, it's $36.99
For the
for the 4K with the slipcover.
oh, there's a standard and a slip.
Yeah, the standard is always the price they say from first.
Thank you for pointing that out, by the way.
You're welcome.
But yeah, still like over like $55 for like a rig for stuff now in Severin.
Yeah.
Like there's some decent. I'm excited, but I'm still excited about Delirium. I would have been more excited if this was Lamberto Bava's Delirium.
Yeah, I think I would have been too, right?
Which is what I thought it was initially. So when you saw me like get super stoked, that is why. I do love that Demon Rat is the title for this. Yeah. That's a big step above some of the stuff that we've done recently for Vinegar Syndrome Archives. Those Billy Blanks titles.
Yeah, and Wolfpack and that.
But I'm not gonna. I mean, like it seems like Vinegar Syndrome being more old school Vinegar Syndrome.
Yeah.
But Vinegar Syndrome's got a lot of new fans. A lot of people that came in more recently. And if you've been buying things like Skitside and X-Ray and things like Death Wish 2 and stuff like that, then this may not be your jam.
Yeah. Well, it looks like like I said, I think that was to my wife. I saw her the other day and I said, there's a lot of people that are coming in to Vinegar Syndrome and they're seeing, like you said, all those titles and they're like, all right, let's do this. And they look at the subscription and it's more obscure, which is what I want.
Yeah.
Because I'm more of a cult fan than I'm wanting to watch the same old stuff I've seen a million times, like Death Wish and, Roadhouse and stuff like that. I've seen them so many times that I want the obscure stuff that isn't on disc.
Like the Terror 10 Killer, like as cheesy as it is, it's like good. Somebody said, went the rumor to release Looking for Mr. Goodbar. God, I hear that's a hard one to get the rights out to right now.
Well, that was a lot of people thought that was originally going to be in the 10 film set, I think, but I can't imagine it would be.
No, I'd say Whistle Dixie for like Mr. Goodbar in a 10 film set. That would be a massive UHD limited edition stock release.
That might be a VSO. I mean, Goodbye, Mr. Goodbar might be. That might end up being a VSO.
That would be incredible. That would be an amazing VSO. You know how many people that would bring in?
A lot.
Yeah, that have never watched, don't know what Vinegar Syndrome is. Every time they bring in a big title, every time they bring in a Showgirls or like even the smaller like niche shows like Rad that's got a heavy fan base or like Roadhouse or Sidekicks. There's always new people. There's always people that haven't seen this stuff before. Bringing in Paramount, getting some early titles, getting like stuff like Arnold, which I think is absolutely freaking fantastic to have.
Definitely.
And is a great step in the right direction. And moving like their adult things onto their own website and giving them it's new what's misaligned like branding. I'm excited about that. I'm excited to see where that goes now.
Well, I'm excited to see films are not being re-released, like like the Shout Factory stuff they were putting out again.
But that's the thing. I think there's going to be people here that are going to look at this and say, "Where's all those re-release titles that I want to see? Where's all those Shout Factory? Where's all them MGM titles 4K?" Yeah. Some people are going to look at that, and that's going to be that's the right Center Arcade. The music is a problem. Always a problem, isn't it, Center Arcade? The music, always a problem. Clearing that music. That cover for Terror 10 Killer does not accurately represent this one.
Well, that's probably what it's their selling point, isn't it? It's their way of selling.
I think it was like Master Chaos that said, like, every time he sees like a butt on a cover on the Vinegar Syndrome, he's worried about the quality of the film.
He does say that. I mean, let's get Master of the World when he said, look, you can see a little bit of the, what do you call it there, so it's going to be even worse.
I got to say something. Does he want to join us for a couple minutes? Does he want to pop in? Let's ask Jose if he wants to pop in with us, man. Hey, Jose, do you want to pop in? Do you want to give your thoughts on camera? We're doing our thoughts here. Let's see. Let's see if we get a response.
Sure.
Well, so what did you pick up? Let me know what you got.
Okay. Well, I got the stuff in the subscription. So partner labels wise, I picked up Dirty Money. I picked up Fake It So Real, Full Time, The Hole in the Fence because I collect All with Innocence, Midnight Spares, Once a Moth, which was a Carney one, and I picked up Voiced of a Lost Girl and the Tortured Soul trilogy. I might pick up the others if they go down, but I wasn't sure.
Man, how much stuff are you gonna have coming? You're no wonder your postman's gonna hate you.
Well, so far I've got the Imprint sale, I've got the Synapse sale, I've got the Severance sale, and this one. So let's hope there's not another big one.
And this sale's not over. This is the first day of the sale, man.
I'll probably grab every title that they put on the on the sale, but I haven't got if they're $14. But I know every day when I look at them, I'm going to be like, oh, I've lost $6 for one, but I bought them in the sale. But it's one of those things. So I'm just looking forward to maybe adding 5 or 6 that I didn't have. Like I didn't buy the lamp, and I'm sure that'll pop up at some point.
Because there's Goodbye was rumored. Why? Because due to that video back a few months. I want it. I want Goodbye. You know what else I want? I want the 1980s Punisher film.
That would be good. You mean the Dolph Lundgren one?
Yeah, I want that as a VSU.
That would be a great VSU. Actually, that would go really well beside Roadhouse.
It'll
be like if you had them together.
Because it's ones that I've been wanting for ages. It's kind of such a fantastic film.
Yeah, it's a very underrated film. It's probably one of his better films, to be honest. I
got to agree with this here. Gorgo blows my mind. It fits better as a VSL.
I think you're right about that. I mean the style of it fits a VSL.
And Glendo and VSA, it's not a video store. Well, I don't know. Like it might have been a video store classic in Spain. That's where it's from, right? Spain.
I believe so.
FI.
What about what's that one called?
Let's just see here.
I need to look at the Psychos Girl one.
My dad just asked me a question about the ordering thing. He asked, when you put something in the cart, do you have to buy today or can you add things later on for the sale? Well, you can't. You buy today, but you add things later on, and you just usually kind of add to your order so that you're not paying for the shipping.
Yeah, add to existing order. What's good about Bigger Syndrome with that is they have it there so you can see it easily if you look on the shipping page, which is nice considering some companies, they kind of hide it, don't they?
Or like they did with oh, there we go.
Or like they did with Severin, where they basically just give you a code.
Severin. What do you do? What do you do sometimes, Severin?
Yeah. Sneaky bastards.
They do tend to get a bit upset.
They do.
We are about to bring on the voice of discontent. With Master Chaos.
Hey!
Who I'm sure is going to have a lot of opinions, which we love on here.
Mr. Try Before You Buy.
Exactly. Which I'm the opposite of. I'm like blind buy all the way.
Yeah, that's me. I prefer it that way personally.
Because I'm like I understand like people like say, well, it's money and,
Oh, yeah.
and money. It's but I'm such a sucker for the blind buy things.
Well, it's because I think for me as well, it's because I want to see them in the best quality if I can.
100%.
So yeah, that's what I'm like. But it doesn't mean that I don't regret it afterwards.
Well, that's the thing. Like you get the ones there that you don't expect to get.
Yeah.
And don't blind buy beaks, guys. I'm just gonna put it out there. Don't blind buy beaks.
Unless you've got the subscription and you're getting it anyway, don't do it.
Yeah, then it's okay. Like, don't get me wrong. I would love to like some of Cardona stuff because some of it kind of like is up my alley, like some of the plots, some of the titles. But I just can't get past that.
What about that Western one? Have you seen the Western one? Because I haven't got into that set yet.
I actually, because one of the films is not him, but I legit avoided it because now there may not be any animals or anything in it. I don't know. Okay. But he's just I'm gonna put it mean bastard, because it wasn't like he was doing it for from what I hear, he had a lot. He enjoyed putting a lot of that in there, which is
so
very
it's actually different. So it was basically his fetish.
I say that's the way I take it.
So he must be into Genki then.
That's it. I'm not. Some people's children, man. Some people's children. What the hell?
Yeah, horrible.
I was reading. I think it was like a Reddit post because I read a lot of the Reddit stuff. It goes down.
Yeah, I've read it.
And it was along the lines of like, my boyfriend kept a secret from me, and I don't think I'm okay with it. I'm like, okay, well, did he have a secret wife? Did he have an affair? Was there something that to know about? And what it turned out was he'd been arrested before. And I'm like, okay, well, people have been arrested before.
Yeah.
You crimes in your past and all that type of stuff. For necrophilia.
Oh, my word.
Yes. So that's a massive, for me, that's a red flag.
That is a red flag. That's a massive red flag.
That's like I'm also going to thank you guys for that are are super chatting and stuff like that right now, because I'll tell you, after me just mentioning that, no way in hell this gets monetized.
If you want to see, the Colors Cinema, look at Necrophilia. There you go. Give $100 super chat.
There we go. Visa isn't classics; it's video store obscurities. I mean, I at this point, man, I think that we no longer have know what VSAs are.
Yeah, it kind of went off the rails.
Jose got my.
Hopefully they'll keep the VSL to what it is, because that's been great line so far.
It's the reddest of flags. That's why I don't put it on my resume. He's going to get Gorgo, but it's 45 pounds with postage in the UK. Wow. I'm going to have to wait for the normal edition. Does it give you the option, Spawn, of buying the normal edition?
Well, it should do, but it depends on the price of it, because it's only, I think, $7 cheaper. So you're still not really saving as much. Might be one of those sale things.
That's what I should do. I'll read Reddit stuff on here sometimes in between when we're doing like longer videos.
Yeah.
Like those like relationship ones, or am I the asshole type things, because those are hilarious.
Yeah.
There's a TikTok where they read out those things. It's so much fun. So much fun.
Especially when you fear how crazy they are. Yeah. I used to go on the sex Reddit when I was with my wife, and I'd read what the people's issues were and what people would respond to it. And some of them would be hilarious. Like someone would say something like, "Oh, I'm having this issue because he wants to do this and I don't." And you get people respond with, "Yeah, what's your problem?" And you're like, "What?" You know, people genuinely have issues with stuff. You know.
What's the thing? Like that's like in like Am I the A-hole, right? Like somebody
Yeah.
said, it's always a good time. Like I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna put it out there that if you're asking that question, you probably are.
Wow.
Here we go. Welcome, man.
Hey,
Yay!
there he is.
What's up, guys?
What did you buy anything? I know you bought the zombie.
Yeah, I bought the zombie set. I had to. I was gonna spend up to 100. That was my limit. 75, good enough. I'll do it. I didn't get the shirt. I didn't need the shirt, but I absolutely had to get that. And I even took advantage of some of the subscriber week
Nice.
discounts. Which, by the way, what the hell is that whole thing? They got rid of the compounding discount, and now it's just, oh, extra reward points. What the shit is that?
I think it's
I
better.
bet,
I think they realized, Jose, that
uh-huh.
the compound discount was not as good as just discounting the movies. I think that they looked at it and realized, yeah, people are going to probably have to buy a lot to get to a decent price, and like I mentioned, we were talking. If it fails on the first day, it fails for 7 days.
Right.
So if you look at it and you realize, okay, no, this doesn't look good, you rein back, you course correct. So I think they did the right thing, course correct.
I think I honestly, I'm going to be more cynical. I think that's where I lean to. I think they realized someone did the math and they said, holy crap, we're going to lose so much money if we do it this way. So let's not do that.
Instead, what they did was they made them $14 each, even though people would have paid 20 for them in the halfway, and half of them probably haven't even got their sale orders yet. So they're going to cancel them, ask for those ones to be cancelled out, and put those other ones in, I reckon.
Yeah.
Because that's what I would have done. I'd have been like, I paid $6 more for this, I'll cancel that and just reorder it again.
See, I think my look is more cynical because I'm saying that that the sale was going to flop if they did.
Right, but they don't want us to get as much of an advantage in terms of sales.
So what did you get
either
from the sale, by the way?
Okay, so let's go for I want to say South by Southwest, but the subscriber thing I grabbed. I know the Culture Shock guys, and I'm deficient in that collection, so I grabbed Devil Rider, Night Ripper. I don't like American Scream, so I didn't buy it, but that is a good price for it. Yeah. I just think it doesn't go anywhere, and it's not as satisfying as it wants to be. I also grabbed Savage Harvest because I've been on a SOV kick. $14. Now that's a price for a shot on video movie. I'm not paying nearly $30 for something like that.
Yeah,
yeah.
I went on Wave website, you know, and their DVDs, they were like $25 each for them.
Yeah, no.
This is
back in the day. Back in the day when it was only VHS, you would have to pay $50 because that's all they had. You know, that's the only way you can get it. You know, through mail or whatever. But nowadays, man, no. Price has to come down for stuff like that.
I definitely want to pay $20 for digital. I mean, what the hell?
What do you think of the prices, the sale prices, by the way? For what we've seen, we know it's $18 for the UHDs and $12 for standards.
Not bad. I guess we'll see what they have. You know, Blood Delirium is one that is it Blood Delirium? What the hell is it called? That's the Tiny Tim, right? Blood Delirium?
Blood Harvest.
Blood Delirium is something else. Blood Harvest is one that I've wanted forever. I've got the reward slip. So hopefully we'll get it during the sale, and I'll grab it then. I just haven't picked it up yet, so I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, I mean, most of the shit on here I have.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna be targeting partner stuff. So any more Culture Shock pops up, I'll grab that. But I got pretty much all I need, to be honest. But yeah, I think $14 is a good price. It's not the $10 thing that people were kind of like spoiled by. But
I think that if they would have went for the $10 thing, people would have like massacred them due to the fact that they said this was a one-time thing.
I do think it's pretty close though with the 14.
Oh yeah, like this is like literally this is as close as it can get without saying, you know.
I do think a lot of people are going to be upset with it though, to a degree. I mean, people are always upset, but you know what I mean.
Is Terror Tinkler a slasher? Yes, it is actually. I wouldn't say it's like a top tier slasher.
I'm hoping I can get Scanner Cop 1 and 2, you know, on the 4K one.
Yeah, absolutely. For $18, that's a deal. Absolutely. And it's funny, you guys mentioned it, but Terror and Tenkiller does have a very prominent booty on the back.
Does it really?
And it, oh boy, it does not.
Yeah, she's lying down, isn't she? She's lying down.
Have you seen it?
I haven't seen it, but I do have the riff tracks for it, so I have to get to it.
It's a film.
It's a film. Yeah.
That only Aaron likes. There we go. There's a lot of those, man. I like a lot of weird stuff. I do like the look of the sale. I'm hoping like $18 UHCs can. I don't know if Flesh for Frankenstein is going to be there, but what a heck of a title that would be. Even a standard edition, that one, like for people who would want to get that title. $14 titles, $12 titles. No price range on the box and cases one. We'll be here tomorrow for that to check that out. I'm actually excited to see what that is going to be.
Cases? Yeah. What the hell does that mean? Cases?
I would have thought that would mean VSAs, but they've got Red Sun Rising in this one. So
yeah,
like I thought them in limited editions. But cases makes it seem like it's slipcovers. You know what I mean?
Could it be the multi-movie sets, you know, like Made in Hong Kong and that?
It'd be nice if something like that. It won't be. That's too new, I think. I would love
to. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, ones like that, like Doris Wishman and stuff, you know.
If you put permanents in there, that'd be cool. That's definitely possible. And very like stuff people would definitely look at. Mm-hmm. I think this is going to now that we know the prices, as long as there's a good mixture of titles, it's going to be a good sale.
Yeah.
2, if people were waiting on the Severin stuff to see this, I think this is going to lean people towards Vinegar Syndrome over Severin. Just my personal thought on it is that if you were looking at the Severin stuff and you're waiting to Vinegar Syndrome put their sale out, and you're seeing the prices of this compared to the prices of Severin, and you add in like the shipping stuff as well, this looks like a much better deal.
Absolutely. I mean, these movies are a little more obscure than, you know, the ones that Severin are tossing our way, but they're way cheaper. Yeah. And I mean, I think that's definitely going to sway a lot of people. And I don't know if you guys know this. I just found this out, but apparently Severin is charging people a cancellation fee. If you email and say, hey, I cancel my order, they're charging you a 3% cancellation fee.
Oh my God.
They did that last year. I think they did that last year as well.
It's crazy.
You know, because they said about the whole PayPal, you know, when you do that.
Hell.
Oh my God. That's ridiculous. But
how do you put out stuff like this and have business practices like that? It is so backwards.
Very backwards. And by the way, anybody, I don't know if this applies to you guys necessarily internationally, but Deep Discount is the place to go to buy Severin titles. Holy crap. I got Extraterrestrial Visitors and Violent Streets together for the price with shipping cheaper than if I just bought Violent Streets through Severin without the shipping and tax included. So
when I lived in America, I had a similar thing with Deep Discount with Imprint. They had titles on there for, I think it was like $11, and they had the Bob Hope set on there for like 20 something, and I got that. I got Alfie and all this stuff, and it was like, I think it was like $200 for like 14 of them, and I was like, yeah.
We ordered in Canada from Deep Discount during the Warner Archive sale, and we got a big box of stuff, and the shipping was great, and it came super quick. So I can also say even in Canada, Deep Discount worked for me.
Great, amazing. Yeah, that's my big discovery of this entire weekend. Honestly, the fact that Deep Discounts, Sorry, Severin. I love you guys, and I know them a little bit, but I'm gonna shop at deep discount from now on.
The only problem with deep discounts, sometimes they don't always have the stuff in stock, so sometimes they cancel stuff.
Mm-hmm. Good
Diabolik
Because they did
only
that
offers credit if you cancel after pay.
Yeah, but at least it's credit, and it's not like you lost that money. You still have that money in there, and odds are you'll order from Diabolik eventually. So
somebody said they had a lot of
doesn't go
I've
away.
never had anything damaged from deep discount. Not personally, but that's me.
And I'm
I've
not a
been
big-
lucky to have good mailman.
That's great. I'm not a big, oh my God, there's a dent in my box thing. As long as the movie plays, doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
Now with the amount of stuff that May's getting I would say your mailman might be like,
Yeah. Well, let's just hope it don't all come on the
packages.
same day. So it does all come on the same day. I've had I think it's like 8 orders through 4 different companies.
Wow.
Crazy. I mean, the Synapse one, I bought like 40. Imprint, Sal, I bought, if you count the TV shows, probably about 250 discs. If you count the number of discs in them. And
Wow.
Severin yesterday, Vinegar Syndrome today.
Mhm.
I mean, I'm quite lucky with Vinegar Syndrome because I've got most of the titles. So I'm quite lucky there. But I had to sell a lot of them when I moved over because I used to live in America, in Seattle. So,
Yeah.
Well, I used to actually watch. Go on.
I was gonna say I bought a whole bunch of Vinegar Syndrome shit today, but I still don't have my halfway sale stuff, which I'm not I'm not happy about, but whatever.
So not being a subscriber, right?
You still haven't got your halfway sale?
Yeah. I still don't have it. Yeah.
Here's my recommendation today. High Stanley. A lot of fun with this.
Well,
I don't have this edition yet, but I do like these films.
Stanley is a full of animal mutilations.
Does it really?
Oh yeah, Stanley's all about rattlesnakes getting their heads blown off. I mean,
was it real?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I've only
real.
seen them when I was a kid, right?
They killed hundreds of snakes.
Aaron's taking back that recommendation right now.
Well, I liked his other titles. He came from the swamp set. I really like that set.
Oh, the Griffey set, yeah.
Yeah.
George actually sent me that for my birthday, and a couple years ago when it came out, and it was what an amazing set, especially the psychedelic priest. What the heck?
Yeah, I mean it's not the most amazing movies, but they're fun and they're interesting take on certain things.
Yeah.
Somebody said, for sure, labels have to charge a certain amount on their site to appeal to distributors and companies like Amazon and Deep Discount, which allows the latter more flexibility. Well, it's
sure. Makes sense.
Maybe Vinegar Syndrome thinks California is a foreign country.
Maybe. Malcolm, did you get your Vinegar Syndrome stuff?
Yeah, because I'm a subscriber, so I got it about 2 weeks ago.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I'm hearing people if people in the UK got it and they're like, they're not subscribers. I'm like, wait a minute. So they're shipping internationally first? Like, I'm so confused by their practices, but whatever.
It's funny because I'd understand that if the shipping actually took that long. Like if it was like a month to get to you.
Mm-hmm.
But since it comes within 4 or 5 days. What I don't like is I used to do premium shipping on the FedEx, but once I become a subscriber, it became economy. So it made it slower, and everybody gets economy, international. And I was like, surely the shipping should be a little bit faster, but I don't know.
I know the distribution site here in Canada are fast. Like even if you're not a subscriber, it comes pretty fast. The Canadian side.
Wow.
Hopefully you'll get it soon, man. Hopefully by the time.
Did you get much?
What did I get? I don't even remember, man. It's been a month. It's been over a month. I don't even recall. Man, I don't even remember, to be honest. but a little bit, just kind of caught up on whatever I was missing that I thought I needed.
I know when they shipped mine, they shipped it in 3 boxes over 2 different, different FedEx labels.
Wow.
So I think they came from different stores or warehouses.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What's the word? Well, the sale is better than actually. I'm not going to lie. The sale, as well as the sale prices are going, is better than I expected to be. We'll see how things go. I'm not yet sold on the subscription, though I do think that the second half of the year, I want to get your thoughts on this, as I mentioned this to Malcolm, is a bit more old school Vinegar Syndrome style stuff than the first half of the year was. It's more the quirkier, weirder stuff that you used to see. And I think that might actually turn some people off that have been buying all the recent stuff.
I think you're I think you're correct in terms of it feeling like old school Vinegar Syndrome. But their descriptions for me is what's not selling me. That's it. Really depends on what the movies are, but a Brazilian double feature of and I look. I swear to God, guys, you don't put Beaks in a box set, and it's not a Cardona box set of some kind. I'm telling you.
I really don't think. I'm
telling you. Secret. It's coming.
I think it's gonna be, I think they messed that up. I think that Cardona thing was a botch, and I don't think they always say it's because one guy passed away, and I'm sure that has something to do with it. But as you know, you've been on the website. You know there's a bit of pushback when Cardona said people were not exactly. Everybody wasn't pleased. It wasn't just me. So I think like they put out the Cardona film, like one of them on Western, and I bet that was meant to be part of one of those sets. And I think what to do is to put 1 or 2 Cardona films in there and put 2 other things to mask the fact that it's not a Cardona set. They're just gonna because they have the rights to these films, they got to put them out. And Beaks, like whether I like it or not, doesn't matter. There's a lot of people that do.
Right.
It's going to be like one that's going to be known. So I think that they will sprinkle those Cardona films. Like maybe I don't think this will be a Cardona box set, but I think it may heavily have Cardona in it. But they won't put it just Cardona because I think that'll sell more.
And I mean, we've seen them. They're not giving up on Spanish horror movies. We've gotten 2 releases already, like 3 box sets of these things. So, or 2 box sets, I should say. So they're not giving up on it. So I'm 100% leaning towards that. That's they're not necessarily saying it's a Cardona box set, but they said it by saying what's one of the movies. Why would you hint at one of the titles and not the rest of them? Just say, box set coming from a well-known director instead of saying,
that's why I think it's not, because I think they would have said box set coming from a well-known director, but because Beaks is probably like, again, I don't like the movie, but 2, it's a popular film. So some of the films in this set, and I think it's going to be a Spanish type set, will be films that may not be as well known.
Right.
Ruben Blanda Jr., I'm glad they're putting more of his stuff, because there's a director that actually can direct. So as opposed to Beaks, the movie, by the way, which is not Beaks, it's Beaks the movie, because that's always the way that I've seen it. Like I think somebody mentioned here in the chat as well, that's the way they've seen it too.
I'll be honest, I really missed the box sets that had them in the individual cases in the boxes.
Oh yeah, like the that one. Oh yes, I agree.
Yeah, I don't like the new, just where it's like the 2 discs and they slide in. I like the book and everything. Don't get me wrong, but I prefer when you can pull the case out, look at the whole case, see everything. To me that's better.
Do you guys have a favorite month here? Like when looking at these months, we got Gorgo, 10 Color, Delirium, and Psycho Girls in July. August, we get like the 4-film set, which may be Cardona, with Beaks, a German Shocker UHC, and a Brazilian exploitation double feature for August. September gives us Arnold, Evil Judgment, an early 80s Hong Kong horror, and a regional horror double feature. October, we get Never on Disc Slasher, Notorious Trauma Classic. I bet you, because I don't like Rabid Grannies that much, I bet it's going to be Rabid Grannies. Grizzly Gore Slasher, a Notorious German Gore Fest. And then in November, we get Prophecy 1 to 3, which was an interesting choice, a 10 film collection, and 2 shocking surprises, and Never on Disc Slasher. Which month interests you most?
November. I think November is the one I'm most interested in, just to see what those 10 films are going to be.
I would concur with that. August through October does not sound appealing at all. I mean, early 80s Hong Kong horror, that's going to suck. There's no good I'm sorry. I love Hong Kong movies, but all of their horror movies are comedies, and they just don't work for me.
Yeah.
You don't like the Hopping Vampires?
No, I do not. I'm not a fan.
So you're not a big fan of the Mr. Vampire movies, then?
Awful. No, I'm not a big fan at all. And German Gore Fest, Trauma on UHD. Come on. I don't know about that. I mean, I did just buy a less horror film, but that's different. But November, it's funny, Malcolm, you mentioned the Prophecy set. I almost did, but also grab that from Imprint. So I'm glad I didn't. But I'm excited to get that. I like those movies. The 10 film collection is exciting on paper. But it could be a 10 garbage movies that are, hey, we can't sell these individually.
Yeah.
I don't know. But November. It's all Cardona. Exactly. Yeah. That's all it is. It's just the extra footage of animal torture. November's probably the most exciting month. And if the pre-order pops up, you know how they do that in September or whatever. I most likely will grab, the flash pre-order just to make sure I secure the box, and fingers crossed on the rest of it.
This is the one, if I do have the money, that's the pre-order that I would like to get. I will definitely agree with that. Just because you never know what the box is going to be, and everything else around it seems interesting anyway.
Well, I'm hoping the box is going to be something special, it's not just going to be 10 films over 4 discs.
Yeah, me too. They said they delayed the box because they found even better films. That's not
the real reason. The real reason is they did it because they knew they could get some people to subscribe in a halfway.
No. Well, come on. They found better films. Yeah. Somebody said there's a few serious Hong Kong horror movies in the 80s. Hell has no boundary. I mean, you could. It'll be interesting. I was interested in that Hong Kong, that set that they did in, was it January or February? They did that set that had the Friday the 13th type one on there. That was kind of cool. But
and I saw 2 of those movies, and I wouldn't necessarily consider them horror. I mean, one of them was a very odd kind of Texas Chainsaw Massacre on an island.
Deadly Camp.
Yeah, it wasn't very gory, and it was just kind of annoying. And the other one was like a sex movie. I don't know. It was a weird collection of films in that thing. So I'm still not
Deadly
sold.
Camp. Deadly Camp to me was weird because he looked like the father, the chainsaw guy, was getting off to the idea of his son molesting women. It was like, what the hell is this about?
Yeah. It was too sexy, too pervy.
Yeah,
it's one of the first.
I like those films.
Deadly Camp was one of the first of that style I saw. I actually got it on a VCD. Remember those VCDs?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So I got it on a VCD, and I'm like, because it looks like, it's a Friday the 13th type movie. So Aaron buys anything is Friday the 13th type, and I get it, and I'm like, it's different.
Yeah,
but I haven't yet to pick up.
They still sell them. They still sell them in Thailand. VCDs are the most prominent selling discs.
Really?
Yeah, I know that because my dad lives over there. And when he came over once, he bought me a whole load of wrestling ones from there, which I could have got here, but he thought it'd be great. And they're obviously dubbed with, Thai commentators. But the most funniest thing about it was there was this, what was it? There was a match, and this guy went for a table, right? And the Thai commentators, all they did for 2 minutes after that was laugh, hysterically. And I was like, what's so funny about that? Yeah.
Table shot.
We should. we should look out. Go to partner labels going out of print.
Oh yeah.
We have to check that out. I forget who. Bumpy was pointing us in that direction. It does look like Culture Shock is leaving. Almost all their titles are here, which means 100% we'll see those on sale for the next few days.
Yeah, like good call, Bumpy, on that one.
That's sad. I think they're all doing that. I think they're all slowly doing that, you know, and going to do the subscription stuff, I reckon. Because that's what television's done.
I'm
like
sure
this.
they're doing. I mean, they're doing well with that. I guess. I mean, all I've heard is OCN doesn't give as good a cut to the partners, and so that's why a lot of them aren't happy. But I don't know. Allegedly, that's all I can say.
And you know, at the end of the day, like it's good to go in to get your, I guess, to become known. But once you know you're putting all this hard work in, if you want to keep going, you need to be able to one, fund your company and keep doing stuff. And if you're not getting a good enough cut, like if that's the case, then you do have to look elsewhere.
Mm-hmm.
It's sad to see like another company go. Culture Shock does a lot of cool stuff. Actually, I think they really do. Sadly I don't think I've got any Culture Shock, and not for not wanting it, but just at the time just not having the funds to pick it up. But I don't think there's been many months that they put out stuff that hasn't at least really intrigued me, that I wanted to have, that I kind of wanted to own. Slash Dance, for instance. Everybody hates this one. I'm sorry. This cover's amazing.
Yeah, the cover
it's a great cover. None of those girls are in the movie, just so you know.
Well, it's the same as like, what's that, Splatter You, right? Like it's got like Elizabeth Caton on the cover, but she's not in the film.
I watched the Video Murders. That wasn't too bad after a while. The first 20 minutes, I was like, what? And then I started getting into it.
I remember this movie because in the video store, I would see this one, like, that is the shittiest cover I've seen on any VHS. And then I was shocked that he legit kept it for the cover. I'm like, they kept it.
Retro, isn't it?
The cover.
They kept it.
Talk about labels.
They're gone.
I was going to say, talk about labels. What's happening with Ever 444?
Oh, well, I think they're very, very small. So I think it's just taking them a long time to get their stuff together.
Because they announced they announced the trailer. I think it was Fatal Termination or something, and said more would find out. So it's been like a month, and that was after they did the other stuff in I think December last year.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with them. I'm guessing it's just hard to do physical media in general.
Is the Adam Rifkin one going out of print already?
Well, it was always going to, because they said it was only limited to their site.
Ah. How was that one, by the way? I saw it. I know a lot of people were excited, and I'm like, it still is home movies.
Yeah.
Which might be fantastic. I'm not saying anything about it. You know, you temper your expectations when it comes to something like that.
I've got it, but I haven't watched it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not selling incredibly well. I think maybe close to 600 copies have sold. So I don't know, but I can't imagine it's great.
I know Brendan picked it up. So I don't know if he watched it.
Oh yeah, he's a friend. He's a friend. Yeah.
Yeah. So he picked it up. So I don't know, because I haven't watched it yet, but
Death Row Game Show's still there.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a bad film. It's quite entertaining.
I like the current national picture stuff. Like nobody's going to go on these expecting like super quality, but they're fun for what they are. Like this stuff is like their titles that were going are they're going slowly.
Did they update their rewards thing? Because sometimes they update them, don't they, for the sales?
Yeah. I'm still surprised. Like I like Shot, though. I do think that's one we had to have slipcover. You don't have to have slipcover for everything, but no. I know you know Bullet Blake. You have to find your channel on.
Yeah.
Like you got to have that. Shot is one of those that has that amazing slipcover. You just got to have it. And I'm sure he's buying this. Like, oh yes, we'd have a sexy butt. You are right. You get nervous.
Very, yeah. I mean, I honestly, I would only get nervous if I was a subscriber, but since I don't necessarily need to own it. Then hey, I hope people like it. That's all. I'll say that.
It's like it's definitely more of the regional style like slasher film. Like guys, don't go and expect like a Friday the 13th big like stylish thing. This is not what you're getting with Terror Killer. I remember seeing it back in the day, and let's see if I can share the cover. Because I had the VHS. I actually own the VHS. Yeah, here's the cover right here.
It's a great cover.
Yeah, and movie's not that level. It's fun. I like it. Happy Candidate to you too. And like they did put it on a double feature with The Last Summer Party, which actually is not a bad film. So actually, I'm surprised that one hasn't gotten any either release.
Mm-hmm.
I was glad to see that Psycho Girls wasn't Doom Asylum. Because I know Phil thought it was going to be that. Is that movie?
Yes.
Oh.
But there's some good...
Psycho Girls looks kind of weird too. I mean, it doesn't necessarily look like a movie I want to watch either.
No.
But yeah, at least it's different. I've never heard of it. And what is up with man? The VSAs are just all over the place. I love me Galindo, but what are they doing releasing Galindo movies through VSA? Why is this a VSA now?
I don't think I'll be honest.
Sense.
There's no sense to the VSAs anymore. Whatever they initially thought VSAs were going to be, have long since gone out the window. The second Fortress, what's the America? What's that? America KKK, whatever the heck that one's called. The Trump one came out. That's when I said, whatever VSAs were is out the window.
Well, that felt like a VSA. For me, it was, when they started releasing like a Santo and things like that. Like I don't know how that necessarily fits into American video store era kind of aesthetic, but yeah, I don't. It completely boggles the mind.
I was hoping that they'd do more Simply Rothrock and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Maybe some Lady Dragon stuff, some of that style.
Yeah, China O'Brien, Rage of Honor, you know.
The China O'Brien double feature would be amazing. Because when he started out Cynthia Rothrock, I was super stoked. And it's a Cynthia Rothrock film. I'm like, no, it's not. It's a movie with Cynthia Rothrock. It's a secondary character in. And until they did the more recent one, that's what they all were. Like Martial Law, is it a Cynthia Rothrock movie? No, but she's in it. They did another one, is a Cynthia Rothrock film? No, but she's in it. And then they did one where she did all the nudity, which was a very different type of film for Cynthia Rothrock.
Yeah.
So it relied more on her acting ability, which ended up not making some people happy because they expected to see more of the martial arts stuff, right? Like even like the one they did from Japan, that's a Juan Bo movie that has Cynthia Rothrock.
Yeah.
So it'd be wonderful to see them do like the China O'Brien's and stuff, where she actually was like basically the main character.
Yeah.
And Richard Norton was either a good guy or was attacking her. You were never sure.
That's when they never released Sword of the Bushido. They never released that. I love that.
Is this the uncut Psycho Girls? The VHS was heavily cut. Does anybody here remember Psycho Girls? Because I'm not gonna lie, I don't remember the title.
Never heard of it.
I've heard the title, but not for that film. I'm looking through the thing. I think it was for a different film.
Yeah, I saw a movie called Psycho Girls that's not called this. Because I know that because the actress is in a bunch of movies, and this is not her.
Yeah.
But what do we got here? Here, dramatic reading, guys. In 1966, little Sarah Tusk poisoned her parents to death. Now, some 20 years later, Sarah's an inmate at the Lakeview Asylum. Her sister Victoria, who is now a personal chef, has never forgiven Sarah for a terrible crime and is determined to see her rot in the asylum and is happy to make Sarah readily aware of her intentions. Little does Victoria know, Sarah's bloodlust and insanity have grown, and upon learning that her sister won't help her get out, she hatches a plan to escape on her own. After literally turning Victoria into steak tartare, it's giving away a bit here, she ingratiates herself into her sister's work, are they twin sisters, I'm guessing? Fixing a dinner party for Victoria's employees wherein she's the main course. Unfortunately for them, some unwitting cannibalism is the least of their troubles, as the meal has been spiked with sleeping pills, and this is telling me a lot. And the revelers soon awaken in an abandoned wing of Lakeview as guinea pigs in Sarah's demented lab.
You know what it sounds like, don't you? It sounds like when you read the back of a Bollywood movie case.
It's Canadian. I know. It's Exploitation, Psycho Girls. It is a Exploitation one. You're right. But I do still barely remember this movie. But now I think I've seen it.
I'm not familiar with it at all.
Kind of want it less. And I'm a Exploitation guy.
I saw the trailer.
Is the trailer good?
Yeah, the trailer's awful. I mean, it's like, ugh, yeah. No, man. Oh, wait.
I watched that Debbie Does Demons, and I was just like, oh, it's just so bad.
Oh, is it bad? Oh, that's yeah, because everyone bought it because of the cover and the promise of incredible nudity, but it's garbage.
All it's got is a woman walking around naked in a cape throughout the whole thing, and then just bad deaths. It's it was not good.
It's Donald Farmer. You never trust Donald Farmer, honestly. Awful.
I mean, if you like a decent pair of breasts just walking around, fair enough, but
it's there.
Oh no!
Say goodbye to somebody. Yeah.
Gorgo's the standout for Jaden. It's a good film. It's a British Godzilla film. It's kaiju stuff. I thought it was fun. But overall, like, I'm more impressed with the prices of the sales than I am the titles at this point. There's a couple of interesting titles there. Well, I'm hoping that they'll get better.
But how crazy is this? I mean, we were just talking about how VSA is sort of muddied in terms of its branding. Let's discuss, I should say, Gorgo, which is obviously a VSL.
I know,
right?
It's not a choice not to be a VSL.
Yeah.
Like, how is it not a VSL? I don't understand. How does that get 4K? It's one of those head scratcher choices. It's a good movie. I really like it. I'm gonna get it, but it's just odd to me. Like, wait a minute, didn't you say you were gonna do like all the older kind of, old fashioned movies VSL, and now it's a 4K on its own? Don't do that. Don't do the sub labels.
Maybe it's because it's a 4K.
Maybe.
Somebody found that the sale titles this day weren't for them. Some people were more disappointed with the titles. Well, we got 6 more days of titles, so don't worry, guys. I'm sure there's going to be some stuff that's going to hit you in that sweet spot, because there always is, especially when you get like $18 UHCs. That's actually great. That's a great price. And somebody really doesn't.
I mean, if you watch more than 2 Donald Farmer movies, it's a thumbs down.
I looked his filmography up, after watching the film, and I was like, oh dear.
Yeah. No, yeah. I mean, that's what kept me away initially, because I was like, oosh, Donald Farmer, but I do like nudity, but still, Donald Farmer. I mean,
yeah. Don't you get disappointed when you get like one of those slasher movies and you find out it's one of those that like didn't do the nudity, and then you feel cheated because it's a slasher movie and you expect there to be at least, this is, especially if it came before Scream. If it came after Scream, I can forgive you, but if it came before Scream, I'm sorry. No.
Yeah.
Friday the 13th set that template there. You have certain boxes that need to be checked.
Absolutely.
I think that's one of the reasons I like Patrick Still Lives, because the nudity in that is like off the charts. Especially where he's got the woman constantly going down to see him, and all the nudity and stuff.
I've not seen that movie, but I've heard it's got some pretty intense sequences. Is this something I should add to my Severin package?
Mwah! Yes. It's chef's kiss.
My thing I always tell people is, if you like Burial Ground and you went to see the mother in that naked, right, you get Patrick Still Lives.
Very good. Yep. Well, let me go visit Severin real quick, and
I love the reason behind it too. Like Patrick's such a serious Richard Franklin, man, right? And then Patrick Still Lives, and look what he gets hit in the head with a Coke bottle, right?
Yeah. Well, what happens is they drove by and it's boom, right out of nowhere.
Yes. So Yeah,
I just love the whole thing with the dad part, where he's just thinking the stuff happens.
like he's trance puts that girl in the trance, like to bring her.
Yeah, I love that. And the way she just moves and that. She's so beautiful as well.
Yeah, Bachelor's coming more than any movie. There you go. See, I've been talking about Patrick Still Lives on my channel before Patrick Still Lives was a Severin title.
You mean when you had a worn down VHS?
Because that's the thing, was I'd always remembered it as like that movie with the guy with the coke bottle. That was super sleazy.
Man, the psychic music
for money this week. Who's winning
music
so far?
box sold out.
Wow, already.
Box is down. No, I'm not surprised. That was.
I
Did you
would
get
guess-
the? Did you get the plushie?
I got the plushie.
That's it.
I had to get it.
Now you have
I
your
need to find
official
the others
threesome
now.
with Mrs. Chaos. You got you and Mrs. Chaos and good old Spinell.
I can't wait. I can't wait. I told her, I showed her a picture. Go, oh, you bought me this as a summer present, and she goes, no, I didn't. I go, oh yeah, you did, and I just walked out of the room. And
You got to film that unboxing, man. You got to film that unboxing.
I might. I'm kind of done with unboxings, but maybe we'll
But with
see.
her,
They
and
do
like
get a bit
because her
tedious,
reactions
to
are
be fair.
fantastic. Especially
Yeah.
with this.
I may. If I get it this year, who knows? Who knows when the shipping is going to happen?
January. Be your January.
Probably.
I
Jesus.
like doing unboxings, but well, they do feel a bit tedious if because it feels a bit like, I'm bragging what I got, blah blah blah. But it's nice when you're doing it with someone like your wife because you get the reaction, you get the.
Well, unboxing brought me to YouTube, like because I was looking for a movie and I couldn't find any like information on it. So I watched somebody actually legit unbox it. I'm like, okay, now I want to go buy this. And it was a Scream set. It was done in Canada. And it had like the Scream mask and everything with it. So, but there was no information on it online. There's no reviews or anything like that. It was Canadian exclusive. And seeing the unboxing online literally got me to go buy it. And I actually got the last copy at my local Best Buy. And
That is the good thing about
it.
That is the good thing about YouTube. Sometimes companies don't share what the box sets look like. So when you get to see it on someone's video, you know whether or not you want it or not.
What I don't like, everybody's, it has a different style. What I don't kind of get into is, you ever seen the unboxings where they don't talk or anything and there's just music playing and they like,
I just skip through them.
Yeah, I'll go like, oh, this is unboxing, something I want to see. And they'll be like, I'm like, nope.
It's like you've gone to like see a mental professional, for your mental health. And they've got to watch this video of nothing happening but this white table, right? And they're going to just move things, and you've got to pay attention. Slowly, you feel like you're just going crazy, from it. It's like, read the things, tell me what's going on. And then by the time you're done, you're just aggravated. It's just,
Yeah.
I think that's the best description I would ever actually. Because that is truly what it feels like.
Oh man, I'll tell you what, the big winner of the month is gonna be always Criterion and Kino, because you're gonna get more bang for your buck. You're gonna get 100% better movies. I mean, obviously it is subjective, but I mean, I think I can't even think it's. I don't even think it's arguable. You're gonna get better movies from Criterion and Kino. Will they be more entertaining? That's up to you. But I think in terms of pricing, they will always have better pricing than any of these guys.
Well, Criterion over here on average, the UK versions were released when they're on sale. They're like £12, which I think is a bargain price for Criterion. They don't put everything down, obviously. Like if it's saying like the Lone Wolf and Cub set, it's like £37, which I think is fine. But Kino, I miss Kino because I used to buy a lot of Kino in the sales because you could get so much for $5, $7, $9.99.
Oh, there's some great sales.
And I hate that they don't ship to the UK.
I hate that they don't
Shipping
ship Bitch
sucks.
instead to Canada. Like, because I wanted those movies. They're obvious classics. Joan Collins, just wonderful stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, can any of those titles match up to Psycho Girls?
That's true. Or Terror 10 Killer. I mean,
Yeah.
it's hard. Do you get a 4K box set of Bud Bedecker westerns for $75, or do I buy
Or
a sweaty a sweaty movie with Joe
Just-
Spinell running around the Cannes Film Festival?
That's actually one
I
of the
think we-
better Severn films that month. Thank you very much.
It is. But
But no,
But
it's
still.
like, yeah. When you buy stuff from Criterion and Kino and companies like Indicator, in a lot of cases, except, well, we won't talk about the set that I want so bad. What my friend got me is that the, what's the name, the Ormond family set. Usually you're going for like super quality stuff, right?
Yeah.
So, but with this stuff here, you know what you're getting. Like when I started doing Vinegar Syndrome, literally it was my year of what the fuck. And Vinegar Syndrome titles were WTF films, and that's until recently a lot of that is what they were.
Mm-hmm.
I've been shocking, but when you think about it, most of the Vinegar Syndrome stuff, the old Vinegar Syndrome stuff, and some of the newer stuff, like same with Severin to a degree, would have been a time where you would have found them in dollar bins and $5 bins on DVD.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And now they go for ridiculous money once they go out of print. Like there's ones that are like $200, and you're like, just because it's a Vinegar Syndrome tile, and it's mental. You could probably buy the whole catalog at one point for less than 3 of them rare movies that are out of print.
I can show you some of my old Mill Creek sets that have like a large majority of early Vinegar Syndrome titles, like there, and a lot of the Severn stuff too. Like the old Mill Creek sets would have that stuff because that's what they initially came out with. Stuff like Kathy's Curse, things like the Hearse, Death Row Game Show. Those are all like CIP things. They all came out on those drive-in collections, those Mill Creek collections, stuff like that.
I think some of them were cut though. I think Deep Red was cut.
Some of them weren't actually.
I think Deep Red was cut by like 10 minutes.
Some were, some weren't. Some got in trouble at the time for not being cut because they were supposed to be.
Right.
Ooh.
That's the early days, though. What films are selling out on Vinegar Syndrome's site? I don't know if anything's selling out for this site right here. We can drop back in for a second and see.
Partners are selling out. The only partner title that I got my eye on that I actually just purchased was the Tortured Soul trilogy from Saturn's Core.
Oh, I picked up.
Yeah, that one's going pretty fast.
Partner labels tend to sell better nowadays than a lot of the Vinegar Syndrome regular titles, don't they?
Oh yeah,
I think it's because they're so low number, don't they?
Yeah, the slips are very low.
Yes, and 671 already.
The zombie collection is 847 left.
Oh,
so it's going.
That'll go.
That'll definitely go. The books too. Like I'm sure those books are selling pretty quickly. They didn't expect to come in there. They got a books and comics section. Like Hellraiser, Bloodlines already sold out. Wishmaster sold out. Vamp sold out. There's like very few copies like of those. So like
50, right?
Yeah. What's with that? Like why so few copies?
That's
selling,
weird.
I guess.
Can I tell you guys something that's gonna blow your friggin' minds? And I forgot to mention this, Aaron, when I had you on, or when I was on your channel before. So I made a movie with Doug. We talked about that briefly with Doug Bradley, and he goes, we're sitting at lunch, and we were talking about Hellraiser, and he was so cool about just talking about the history and the making. His favorite sequel is Part 3, by the way. And,
I can see why.
Yeah. He says, I got to do more and whatever, so he loved it. So I mentioned, did they ever come to you and say, hey, we want to do, Pinhead versus, blah, blah, blah. And then he tells me this. It's going to blow your mind. Are you ready for this? At one point, they were going to make Halloween.
I heard about that. Yes.
Pinhead versus Michael Myers, written by Clive Barker, directed by John Carpenter.
Wow.
That I didn't know. That would have been incredible.
Wow. What film that would have been?
I lost my mind. I go, are you fucking kidding me? How did that not happen? And he goes, I don't know. The Halloween producers, the Akkad family were kind of being jerks, and it just kind of, disappeared. But like Barker and Carpenter
sounds
were
like
going
the
to team
perfect collaboration.
up. Holy cats! That blew my, that was like such a heartbreaking thing.
It is.
And damn, but yeah. So I'll never forget. That's one of the things that never happened that would have been landmark horror movie fodder, and we'll never get it, unfortunately.
And I'm gonna say it right now. Much better than Freddy versus Jason. That's for sure.
Yeah, it would. I think so. Yeah. I mean, Carpenter again doing a Michael Myers movie. I mean, that's insane. Oh well. Yeah, but
Thanks,
I'll never
Alex.
forget that story.
Because you never get that now, unfortunately. That is such a shame.
No.
But with that being said, guys, I'm gonna have to head off now. My better half is soon coming home, and what I'm going to be doing, bringing in some groceries.
Hey,
All
that's the
right.
way there. Highlight of the day.
All the exciting parts. Thank you guys so much for coming in. I'm going to be here the next 6 days. Anytime you guys want to jump in.
I can jump in if you want. I don't mind.
Yep, definitely come on back. We're going to be looking at all, like, every day. There are going to be new sale titles. We'll be racked into those titles, seeing what's going on. I'm very excited, especially when it comes to like the box set day and the case day and the UHC day, to see exactly what that's about. But everybody, thank you so much for joining us here today. Jose, thanks for coming in at the last minute, by the way. Malcolm, thank you so much. I'll see you here tomorrow for sure.
Yeah, you will.
Jose,
yeah.
You got that standing invitation.
So can I say something quickly? I just want to say
course.
it was nice to meet you, Jose, and on the street properly. Instead of just commenting and.
Yes, absolutely. Same here as well. And I'll be live on my channel later today. And if I can pop in the next few days, I will as well, Aaron.
Definitely. So check out Jose's video later today. Make sure that you don't miss out, because it's going to be cool. And I will see everybody. So wait up, don't go quite yet, but everybody else will see. I'll see you tomorrow.
Take care, guys.